we live? I think
we're live. Look at that.
Live. Wow. First time live on YouTube. Testing it out on my phone to see if it's working and stuff. We'll give it a sec here. Hi, everybody. Cheers.
Hello, all of you. This is our first time ever doing anything like this, so bear with us while we figure it out.
It's working.
I feel like that's going to create a crazy echo loop, but
yeah, it definitely would. But
it's
now
working.
we know. Now we know.
Yeah, so we're going to try to get our videos and photos from Italy. We're going to try to share our screen so that you can see all of them. We just need to kind of figure out how we're going to do that. So bear with us for just a moment while we figure this out. Yeah, so basically our plan for this video is just to kind of go through. We went through and deleted a bunch of stuff from our Italy trip as far as photo videos, because if we were to show you all of them, we would be here for like 24 hours because we were there for 15 nights. We've saved all of the highlights, and we're gonna kind of just go through them day by day, and tell you all the things we loved, all the things we didn't love, and kind of some of the things that we learned on the way that we're hoping can help you out in your own travels. So yeah, does that kind of give a solid explanation of what we're doing?
I think it does. I don't know why this is playing music though. We probably shouldn't have music. We'll get rid of that.
You just turn the volume down.
But some of the sound is fun though.
Okay.
We're doing so well.
Oh, play Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. That's not weird at all. Let's see what this does. No, it really wants to play this one song. So we're just gonna do this. This is how we're gonna do it. And then I'm gonna scroll. Can I scroll?
It's not showing the.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, it is. Okay.
Slightly delayed here, but we're here. We're live. It looks like there is someone else who has joined us. I don't know who it is. So if you're here with us, feel free to put in the chat, say hi, because we are getting ready to get started. We're going to click through just like this. That's how we're going to do this thing. So I don't know who's joining us right now, but welcome in.
Welcome. So happy to have you. So yeah, let's get started. This is just a photo of us on our flight to Italy. Our initial flight into Rome was delayed. I should say our flight into France delayed, and then we were supposed to fly to Rome from France. And so because of that, we ended up on a later flight to Rome. And then they lost our luggage.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
Super fun.
Which is where this shirt comes into the story, actually, because we had to buy a whole bunch of different stuff because of that, obviously. So, yeah, that's why I now own this shop. So I thought it'd be appropriate to wear it.
And if you recall from that very first photo, I was wearing this very top on the plane to Italy. And then later on, you will notice I am wearing it again on like day 2 of our Italy trip, because we still did not have our luggage until I think
day 4.
Like halfway through day 4.
Yeah. It was we got pretty desperate there at one point, but we figured it out. I will say, so we flew with ITA airline, and normally they were telling us about this process to get money back for obviously everything that we bought, keep the receipts, claim it and everything. We should be fine. You could only do it online. There was an issue with ticketing. We never got any money back for that. So that was a bit of a bummer. But luckily everything for the most part that we bought was all stuff that we haven't already owned. Pretty much, like I don't have anything like this. Yeah. When we did the podcast the other day, that gray sweater, that was also from.
Yeah. I got a cute sweater that you'll see later in the slideshow. It has like teddy bears on it, and it says "Good things are coming" or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I needed because, of course, we went to Italy the day after the election.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
So these first couple of days were like beautiful and lovely, but also a little. We were trying to get out of a funk.
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
But let's get back to what we're kind of looking at here. This is the Trevi Fountain.
Yes, it is. As you can see, the construction going on there. If you saw all of the social media posts about everything in Rome is under construction, that is very true. That is a thing. Yeah. It was kind of a bummer.
It was, but I feel like we still got a good view of it. If you went farther back, you still can see like the whole fountain.
It wasn't quite the whole Lizzie McGuire experience of like, meeting a famous person while flipping the coin into the Trevi Fountain. There was no water. I didn't realize how big the Trevi Fountain actually was.
It's huge.
It's great. It's incredible. Amanda found us this restaurant to eat at on our first night in Rome, and it did not disappoint. This was up there with our best meal that we had in Rome. It was delicious. And we were like the first ones there, I think. So they were really sweet. They were worried. It seemed like they weren't going to get anyone coming in for the night. So they gave us that food that you saw at the beginning was all them, just giving that to us.
Yeah.
We ordered this cheese platter, which was way too much cheese.
It was so much cheese. But the other really nice thing about this restaurant is that we found it on The Fork, which is an app that you should definitely download
100%.
if you're going to Italy. And I think that they have restaurants in some other European countries as well. And it's great. You can make reservations through there. And a lot of times they have discounts available at these restaurants. So I think this meal was like 50% off or something like that.
Yeah, you can see these discounts. Oh, that's not going to work. I was about to try to highlight, but you can see these discounts that are all here. That was because we specifically ordered through The Fork. So it ended up saving us. I don't know how much money we saved on this trip through The Fork, but it was
a decent amount. Yeah, probably like a couple $100 at least.
Yeah. This is our view from the hotel, by the way, as well, just in case you're wondering what this is.
Yeah, from the breakfast area, I think.
Yes, that's right.
So yeah, definitely download The Fork. Check out those restaurants, but do check out the ratings on them as well.
Yes.
Some of the restaurants on there are kind of like tourist trappy. So yeah, definitely check out the ratings, but if it's a good rating and you can get a discount, that's a win-win. And we found a lot of great restaurants that way.
Yeah. So obviously this is the Colosseum, and to the right of it, I had no idea what this was. At this point when we're taking this video, I didn't know what all this was. I just thought, cool stuff by the Colosseum, whatever. We'll get to that later because we did our tour of the Colosseum later on. But before that, we did this Vespa tour to live out our Lizzie McGuire dreams.
Yes, we did.
We were talking about before. So we've got like 10 minutes of footage of running on the scooters.
Yeah.
So we're not going to show it all, obviously. So
I deleted several of these because they're beautiful and they're really cool to look at, but I figured just like videos of us Vespa-ing through Rome for like 20 minutes was maybe not the vibe for this vacation recap.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so cool to just like ride on a Vespa through Italy. When we went to Athens, we did a Segway tour. And it was kind of a similar vibe, like just feeling like the air, like go through your like hair as you're like so seeing a brand new city. There's something magical about it. And obviously Vespas in Italy are like pretty iconic. And so it felt like a kind of must do thing. So we booked that on Airbnb. I can link the tours that we really loved.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Later on, I'm not really sure how to do that, to be honest, with a YouTube Live. I'm hoping we can go in and edit the description after the fact.
Yeah, I think we can do that. We can throw that in there. One other thing just to talk about as well, the Vespa tours and the Segway tours and stuff. One thing I love about it is that there's so much to see, and usually you visit these places for like 1 or 2 days, if you're lucky, more than that. But by doing those types of tours on a mode of transportation, but your own personal one that just zips around, you get to see more than a day's worth of stuff within 2 hours. So
we have to talk about this water fountain.
Yeah, I love it.
I struggled so much to figure out how to drink out of these Roman water fountains. I couldn't do it. And then Donnie gets up, show your video. Donnie gets up and he does it perfectly on the first try.
It wasn't just gentle touches.
I couldn't figure out the right pressure to. Like
See,
you have
that's
to,
what Amanda was doing, and then
this is how they work. So water is actually coming out of the bottom of that, like you see there.
Yeah.
You have to put your finger under it to like push the pressure so that the water comes out the top, and then you drink out of it like a regular water fountain. But I was doing that, and the water kept like shooting straight out, and it was like way too much, and I was like drenched after
Just got
trying to
blasted.
drink
It
out of
was
this water fountain.
very funny. I had a good laugh while watching it. It was a good time. So part of the Segway tour, then they took us to the top of this mountain area here, and as you can see, we got a sweet view.
One of the hills. Rome is built
Yeah.
on 7 hills.
That's
we learned.
Well done. Nice.
And you will feel it as you're walking through Rome. If you're taking a trip to Rome, especially during warmer months, because we were there in November and it was still like 65, 70 degrees when we were there.
Like
as you can see, we're like
15,
not wearing
20
coats.
degrees. Yeah, about 15 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, we're like not wearing coats. It is like decently warm. I'm on the back of a Vespa in that sweater and it was fine. So yeah, if you're in Rome and it's hot out, plan breaks in your day. Don't try to be like out and about for like 10 hours at a time, because you will like pass out. Because it's, first of all, hot, and second of all, just a lot of hills. Yeah, definitely also make sure you're hydrated. Rome also has a lot of great water fountains around in public that are completely free, and the water is completely safe to drink.
Yeah.
So definitely take advantage of that. Just bring a water bottle and refill it whenever you see one of those little stations.
Yeah. And it's good as well. We weren't worried about it. It's all very well filtered and all that good stuff. It's all natural springs and everything. So
yeah.
I think I just contradicted myself. But you can drink the water in Rome. You're good. Everybody does. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah.
We did for days, and we were not sick or anything. Yeah, no, never had an issue.
But yeah, so the last guys that you just saw there obviously were our tour guides when it came to the Vespa tours. Can't remember their names, but they were lovely.
They were awesome.
Definitely recommend their tour. They were talking about they want to move to Barcelona or something, wasn't it? And they want to do Vespa tours there maybe in like 12 to 18 months. So,
but they're definitely going to stay there through 2025 because of the Jubilee that's happening in Rome this year.
Which is where everything was under construction in 2024 to be ready for. Yeah.
So it's a big Catholic celebration at the Vatican and all throughout Rome, and I think kind of all throughout Italy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what they made it
so yeah, 2025 is going to be a huge year for travel in Italy. So if you are traveling to Italy in 2025, just be aware of that and make sure you're booking accommodations way in advance, because I think things are going to book up and I think they're going to get more expensive. So if you're planning that 2025 Italy trip, I would recommend getting on those like Airbnbs, hotels, trains, things like that as soon as possible.
So this is one of my favorite places, probably my favorite place in Rome. So right beside the Colosseum, the thing I was talking about before is this area. This is like the ancient city. I think it's called the Roman Forum. And it was incredible.
Yeah.
You know, obviously a lot of this trip was walking through history, but that in particular was like walking through the true neighborhoods that still existed. We did that with a tour guide, and we didn't even have the best tour guide for that one in particular. It was kind of boring, but still, it was incredible.
It was very cool. And we learned that he kept saying Rome is like a lasagna because it's like layer built on layer on layer on layer. So when you walk into that area with all of the ancient ruins and things, you're actually walking kind of down into like sort of like a pit area, because all of the ruins were like underground, and then the more modern city is just like built in layers on top of that.
Yeah.
But this is the Colosseum.
Yeah, which is also built in layers, but in a different way. That was our tour guide. He was nice, a little boring, but he was very nice.
We saw a wedding.
Yeah, we did see a wedding, which was fun. And then we had to go get some food because we were starving.
We were so hungry.
So that was a veggie lasagna, which was pretty good. Amanda, I think, had the better meal.
I had the gnocchi. It was not gnocchi because I thought I was ordering gnocchi, but it was gnocchetti, which is more of like a pasta than gnocchi is. It was good. It was like it was not like the most memorable meal that we had in Rome, but I will always have a soft spot in my heart for that meal because the restaurant, they were about to close their kitchen because they were kind of like in between lunch and dinner times, and they were kind enough to feed us anyway, and we were starving, so very grateful for that.
I ordered calzone for dinner. There's the t-shirt you were
that's the sweater I bought. Yes, the things are coming.
You may have seen a photo of Cece before. Shout out to Michelle. I don't know if she'll be watching, but for taking care of Cece while we were away. Always want to make sure you find someone you trust with your pet, and she sent us photos most days, so we appreciated that. This was a good meal.
That was really good.
That was delicious.
That was gnocchi, because I was like, I thought I was getting
shit.
gnocchi earlier in the day, and then I just was craving it for the rest of the day. So I did get gnocchi that night.
Yeah. This may have been our biggest blunder. This was our only visit to the Rotunda the entire time. We didn't
the Pantheon.
The Pantheon, that's right.
Listen, I have to be totally honest. I did not even know that was the Pantheon when we were there.
Me neither. As you can see based on this photo here, we were not exactly sober at that point. So we didn't know what we were looking at. It just looked cool.
But I was very proud of riding that scooter through Rome.
You can see this, yes.
I did have an oopsie while I was riding that scooter though. I tried. I was like very nervous on this scooter the whole time we were riding them, and I got too close to a curb, and luckily I did get off of the scooter before it went off the curb.
It could have been a bad face plant into the cement.
I was fine, but the handlebars did smash into my thigh, and I had a pretty nasty bruise the rest of the time that I was in Rome. So if you're gonna ride those scooters, they are super helpful because getting around Rome is exhausting with all the hills.
So good.
But do be careful on them because you can get hurt, and also be very careful with traffic if you're driving those scooters, because we were there. It wasn't even a very busy time of year in Rome when we were there, but there was still quite a bit of traffic. So just if you're going to ride those scooters, be really careful.
As you can see now, we're at the Vatican. Not sure if Flora picks up on that based on the last couple of videos there, but that's where we are. So that was outside the front of it. Now we're inside the museum area of the Vatican, I should say. That's it over there. I didn't know anything about the museum for the Vatican and how every pope has commissioned a new exhibit area. This place is monstrous. We were there for 2 hours, and we saw about
I mean, you say commissioned. That makes it sound like a pope is going to pay anything for it.
Oh, of course not. No, they just tell people what they want.
I had mixed feelings about the Vatican.
Yeah.
So here's what I think.
Let's talk a little about what we're seeing as well. But let's cover that.
Yeah. Well,
some of the stuff
going so quick, I can't keep up. But yeah, this is kind of like an outdoor square that's within the Vatican. The Vatican is gorgeous. I mean, you see so much beautiful art, and it's all concentrated in this one place. And it is mind-blowing how much art is in this place. And when you try to think of all the value of everything that's there, it is gotta be trillions of dollars at
it's pretty crazy.
The Vatican. It is wild. And so my mixed feelings kind of come from the fact that, the Pope takes a vow of poverty. And, they preach, being humble and all of that. But then you have all of this art and priceless materials that are kind of hoarded at the Vatican. And I don't know, it made me feel a little icky, especially when tours.
And again, you see all the people that are here on this day. This was for them, they were telling us. This is an incredibly slow day. You might be able to, this is mostly stuff. But
I liked this room. It had all the animal statues. It's cute.
It was this place was fairly packed. It was a busy day. And for them, there's no one today.
Yeah.
And they were making that much money on that day.
Yeah. And then when you leave, they're asking for donations.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I had definite mixed feelings about the Vatican while we were there. And, while I can appreciate the art for what it is as just beautiful things, and I'm glad that I got to see all of it. I mean, I can't think of another place in the world where there's this concentration of such incredible craftsmanship.
Yeah. Even just the ground, looking at this right now.
The mosaics on the ground and everything, and all of the statues. There were, the stucco paintings on the ceilings, the sculptures. This sculpture was supposed to have inspired Michelangelo, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. and it was signed by the original artist. So not much about it, but I'm pretty sure that was the story, that that sculpture inspired Michelangelo. This was red marble or something like that, and
Egyptian red marble, I believe.
It's like one of the most priceless materials on earth, and this thing, you can't tell from the photo, but it's huge. It was like taller than me.
There was a mother buried in that. I think it's Rome emperor's mother or something.
That sounds right. This was a tapestry, so this is all like fiber art.
So again, this is us going into different areas that were, you know, for lack of a better term, commissioned by different popes.
This is a ceiling.
And they focus on different types of images.
And it just keeps going. Like,
yeah, my phone's in the way there, but that room just keeps going, and then it goes into another room that's a different area commissioned by a different pope. So it's a different form of art in there as well. This is our tour guide. She was lovely and she was very funny.
She was funny, yeah. I do find typically tour guides who are women tend to be more entertaining.
Which isn't too surprising. Awesome. She was great. I will say we'll get to it at some point, but the tour guide that we had in Venice was the first time I feel like we had a woman tour guide that was like, oh, this is kind of boring.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think we've had a pretty high success rate of like that. She may have been the first.
Yeah. This is St. Peter's Basilica. It is very grand, very huge, very impressive. Similar to this.
Yeah, there's definitely. I will say the grandeur of St. Peter's Basilica. Like everyone talks about the painting on the ceiling.
Oh, the Sistine Chapel.
Sistine Chapel.
Which there are no photos or videos of the Sistine Chapel in here because they do not allow photos and videos in the Sistine Chapel.
The Sistine Chapel was cool. Based on everything else that we saw in there, I get why it's important, but also I didn't feel mind blowing like I did with other things.
It is cool to see the Michelangelo painting on the ceiling. That is very cool.
This is all gold. Pure gold. Just pure everywhere. The amount of money in this place is crazy.
But yeah, just visually there were things that were definitely more impressive than the Sistine Chapel.
This may have been your funniest point of the trip.
Hey, can you load it for me? You can't really hear it very well.
I don't know if you guys can hear it very well, but,
basically I was being those statues and I put it on the bigger one and was like, hey, can you hold this for me? And then the little guy's like, oh no.
Hilarious. My wife is hilarious.
This
also,
is
Aperol
fried
Spritz that you saw in the last one, delicious. We had a lot of those. But yeah, go ahead because you're excited for this one.
I was. This was a fried artichoke, which is supposed to be like a signature Roman dish. It was okay.
I didn't care for it very much.
Yeah, it wasn't our favorite. We're not super artichoke people.
I don't mind an artichoke dip, but that for me didn't really do much. Yeah. This pizza wasn't bad actually, considering how close we were to the Vatican. I thought we were going to get crappy meals, but this pizza was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think this restaurant was a little bit tourist trappy because it was so close to the Vatican and it was pretty expensive, but the food wasn't bad.
Yeah. However, that lasagna that you're looking at right now, that's a lasagna, by the way. I know it's hard to tell from where it's at. The lamb there on top of the mashed potatoes looked incredible. It was a bit of a letdown. That lasagna was the best I had in Italy.
The lasagna was delicious, and that was a very small. Cece.
Thank you, Michelle.
We do have like pictures of Cece thrown in here because we were sent them from Michelle, and we can't bring ourselves to delete them from this slideshow.
Now, if anyone has seen the video that we just posted on TikTok about the best gelato that we had in Florence, but it was beaten out by one place in Rome, this is that place. Best gelato that we had in Italy at, what's it called again?
Come il latte. But I just want to go back for a second. That restaurant that had the really good lasagna was this really tiny family-owned place that was really good. We were the only people there that night because, I mean, I think it was pretty late, to be fair.
Yeah.
And we were the last people there. They stayed open for us, which is super late. They did not have to do that. But that was another place that we booked on the 4th and got like a pretty good discount.
Yeah. Actually, as opposed to the place we were talking about, the Vatican, that was also just on the 4th, but they forgot to give us the discount, and we were too drunk to notice, and we left and then realized we had paid full price.
Yeah. But this is a more backed up photo of the Trevi fountain.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you back up a bit, you can definitely still get the full effect.
That's get a selfie. And again, this is apparently a quiet time. in Rome, and it's just chock-a-block to go full
I
Australia.
cannot imagine what Rome must be like in 2025.
It's going to be nuts. We did try one of those, and I was excited to try this. It honestly tasted the way it looks.
Yeah,
It's
pretty much
fine.
exactly what you expected. It was like a cream puff from the state fair.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a tip. If you are sensitive to dairy and you like an oat milk latte, typically this is kind of the exception to the rule. The more touristy coffee shops will more likely have oat milk than the more authentic ones. They don't really do oat milk in Rome. They do
not
soy.
Italy, just Rome specifically, right? Because we found it in other
we
places.
found it kind of in it's not super common in Italy in general. They do soy quite a bit, but yeah, if you're not a big fan of soy milk and you need something non-dairy, I would either stick to just plain espresso, which we did quite a bit, but if you really want that oat milk latte, try to kind of go for the more touristy places. They're more likely to have it.
It's a good call. So this is the Spanish Steps right there. I don't know what this fountain is or what it represents, but people were doing this, so we thought we might as well do it. There's a jacket that I also
When in
bought
Rome.
because indeed when in Rome. By the way, I see we've got a couple of people in the live chat. Feel free to put in a message so we know who's watching with us, assuming they're probably friends or fam, or maybe someone new. Say hi. If you got any questions, drop them in the chat. We can see it. But yeah, we took a lot of steps here on the Spanish Steps, and as you can see, the view from there was incredible because it just goes back and back into the hills back there. It was gorgeous. And I just had new iPhone 16 Pro, so I was very much playing with the camera, the zoom,
testing
and
the zoom on it.
Honestly, it came in handy on this trip.
It really did. Yeah, it definitely did.
Would recommend.
That's a cute photo.
Yeah, I like that one actually. That's one of my favorites.
I like that.
A brand new T-shirt as well that we had to buy.
Yeah,
we did well. Pretty much I think this is like day 2 or day 3 at this point. So this is almost all 3. Like new clothes because we had to buy them.
Except for that sweat. Luckily, this was an outfit that I brought with me in my carry-on.
Yeah. This was just one of my favorite shops. Like, I had stupid amounts of money, then I probably would go shopping in here. It's just all very plain kind of coloring clothing. So yeah, I know the lights are a bit crazy with the cameras here. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's all white and grays, and which normally wouldn't be my style, but I was very intrigued by all of this. So if that's your vibe, I'll go back. Where is it? Paul Taylor is the brand of it. But we're also looking for stuff for my niece back home in Australia, and our nieces and nephews, or just one of each here as well, seeing some fun clothing options and stuff. So we went into a few baby stores. They've got some very cute stuff.
We did a lot of shopping in Italy. I feel like you have to. You gotta look at all the shops. It's like a big fashion destination. Yeah. So
that was delicious bruschetta.
The bruschetta in Italy.
Bruschetta. That's right. Sorry.
So good.
Yeah, and they vary it as well. They put a lot of different stuff with it. We tried the artichoke again one more time at a different restaurant to try it. It was about the same.
We did not like
this restaurant in particular was great.
Yes, it was.
I think I'm hoping to look up that area, Campo Marzio, that it says up the top
Campo
there.
Marzio.
I don't know if that's the spot, but the gnocchis with the ravioli were delicious. I would recommend this restaurant. I'd go back to it again.
The gnocchi was good. I enjoyed it, but the ravioli was better.
Yeah. She's still happy. She's still happy.
Yeah, I was still happy.
But this is the area that we were. So that was just around the corner from this area. Those are ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, which some of them always really like looking at. But so I have been one time. It was cool. I did get food poisoning on the Nile, but that's a different story. We don't need to talk about that.
No.
To the right of this is a hill that we went to right here. So if you know any of these areas, so Terrazza del Pinchio.
This is in Villa Borghese. I think I'm saying that right.
I have no idea.
It's basically kind of like the central part of Rome. It's a huge green space in the city. We didn't get to spend too much time here. No. We wanted to.
It's this felt like the central part of Rome.
Yeah.
We were talking about it there a lot. It felt like. Oh, you just said this? Yeah. Sorry, that wine really confusing. It was cool. It was a really cool spot.
Yeah, and they had this little fundraiser going on. I can't remember what it was for, but they were selling these like little blanket things.
So that's where we were filming down there before. The restaurant that we were at is like just in here. I think there's like a right you can take down here somewhere, and the restaurant's just back in here somewhere.
Yeah, that sounds right. Oh,
But a bit different to Central Park in Rome. This version has a lot of 1,000-year-old. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that wall was kind of surrounding at least one side of the park. We didn't
Yeah.
walk all the way around it, so I can't confirm that it surrounds the whole park.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you walk like through that archway, then you were officially kind of like outside of the Borghese. I don't know what I'm saying. Not right. Totally guessing.
Sure. It was beautiful. I would have loved to spend more time in that park.
This is
Trastevere.
Yeah.
So it's the other side. There's two sides of the river. Sorry, you were going to say something else?
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, this is Trastevere. It's on the map. It is south of Vatican City, on that side of the river. It's basically like kind of a cool district with lots of different restaurants and kind of clubs and things. It's kind of like a very hip district.
Yeah, it's the nighttime area basically. Like you can find the other places that we've been to so far were on the side of the river we were staying on, but this is the area people want to go to. So as you can see, this restaurant. This is the lineup for that restaurant. You had to cross the like little cobblestone street there and get to it. I think it took us 40 minutes to end up with Cici, apparently. Let's keep going to get this food here. So it didn't take too long. But this is our number one recommendation for a restaurant in all of Rome. This was recommended to us by the Vespa tour guides, and this pasta, I don't like carbonara very much. I thought I'd try it. It was good, but what Amanda had.
Yeah, this is like Mitripiana or something. I can't remember. If you see it on the menu in Rome, it looks like it says Americana, but with like a T in there somewhere. But it's basically like spaghetti, but with like a thicker noodle.
Yeah.
And then
that's not acting.
Happy there.
Not acting. That was a legit response. I know we have the name of this restaurant somewhere.
It's Tonorello.
Oh, Tonorello. She knows. Amanda knows.
I remember some things. I don't know.
Number one recommendation for food. It was number one recommendation to us, and it lived up to the hype. So, of course, after that, we had to go back and get some come e latte. I decided to get my first Affogato because I love Affogatos, and that was the saddest thing I had in any gelato place ever.
Yeah.
It was very sad.
If you're going to come e latte, get the gelato.
Just get the gelato. Look at it. It's
perfect. It's perfect.
It was, number one. It was also the only place that we went, I think, that actually had coffee flavor, funnily enough. I don't know why. And that was great.
The coffee flavor was very good. Oh, big stress.
Infiltrating this thing. So I had showed earlier the name of the hotel, the Rome Boutique Inn. We actually really enjoyed our stay here. It was it was a cheap-ish, like it wasn't as cheap as you can find, not hostel or anything. We wanted to find something nice-ish that had a breakfast option and everything. So we got that. We really enjoyed this hotel, actually.
Yeah.
The people were nice. The room was nice, spacious and everything. It was
got breakfast every morning with coffee.
Yeah. Breakfast in Italy is a different thing, though. They just have mini little meats and a little bit of fruit.
Yeah, it's kind of like like charcuterie. They have like cured meats, little bread rolls, cheeses, yogurt. And then they were serving coffee.
But when you're doing 20,000 steps a day, we wanted to venture out and find some more stuff. So normally pretty quickly we'd go find some more food. Yeah. But as you can see, we're now on the train because we are leaving Rome. And here's 20 seconds of footage on the train as we make our way to our favorite place as of this moment in all of Italy, Florence. Firenze. Yeah, it's cannot hype up Florence enough. When we were talking about it, I was always like Rome, Milan, Venice. We got to hit those. And Amanda was saying, no, like I've heard Florence is the spot we got to go. Like, okay, we'll do it. Florence is number one, man. I don't care what anyone says. The one thing I'll say is we got to the train station in Florence. I try not to film any faces or anything, but this is the bathroom situation. You have to pay, and it has to be cash. And we didn't have cash. So that we managed to figure it out. by finding some. But yeah, that was a scary moment after being on a train.
Keep some change on you.
As in,
That's
they
all.
literally, you buy it, they give you a ticket, and then you're allowed to enter the bathroom.
That's not everywhere though in Florence.
No, that was
specifically
if you go to the
at
Florence,
the train station, and then I think sometimes if you visit some of the more historic monuments, then you need it. But this was the bus that we took with all of our luggage to our hotel.
That looks like a normal sized bus, fairly crammed up, right? Here you're going to be able to see how big this bus. There it is. That's the full size of the bus.
Is tiny.
Teeny tiny. Look how far apart the wheels are on this metro bus. There it is. But then look at the view that we got when we stepped off.
Holy
That, genuinely, I had not turned in that direction. So that was my first. I was just looking at the bus the whole time because it was so small and I was laughing at it. So this is my first view of the Duomo in Florence.
The most beautiful building in the world.
Amanda's love.
I love it.
It's the love of her life.
I love it so much.
And it's fine. I'm not jealous at all. This is where we stayed, in that sandwich shop right there. No, I'm kidding. We didn't there though. This is our little block that we stayed in there. So that sandwich shop was one of the best in Florence. It's up there. It's not my favorite, but it was up there. We never ate at that cart, but that the windows up there, that first level, that was our Airbnb that we stayed in. We loved it.
We loved it. There was a smell
Oh,
that
smell.
wafted up from the street. There was nothing that the Airbnb owners could really do about that. But I will say I let them know after we left. So it was my fault that there wasn't anything they did while we were there because we didn't say anything. But I let them know after we left that there was a smell that we assumed wafted up from the street.
Yeah.
And I recommended that they put some extra air fresheners in there, and they were very gracious about it. They were like, "Thank you so much. That does happen sometimes on this street. Like, there's nothing really that we can do about it, but we will put some more air fresheners in." So I would definitely still recommend staying in that place.
I'd be happy to stay in that place if, assuming we go back to Florence, I'm more than happy to stay in that place again because the location was incredible.
Perfect.
Yeah. Even just being literally looking down and we could see the shop right in front of us.
Yeah. This was the Retro Bottega sandwich shop. It was quite good. This is just the one that was right across from our Airbnb.
I had seen a lot of, if you've listened to the podcast, you'd know this. I was so excited about eating the sandwiches in Florence because I had seen so many people talk about them. This one, I think this is second or third, this sandwich. This was a good one. And it was our first experience. Like, as soon as we got there, we put our bags up and we started as we came down and ate right away. So it was a very happy dance for sandwiches. And it was good, but we were just really hungry at the time.
Yeah.
And then Amanda really sweetly booked us a very romantic, high-class kind of restaurant experience on our first night in Florence. So we got all dressed up. As you can see, we were very much
obviously that's
in
the
a
face
classy
that I made.
mood. Yep, we keep that one there for a bit. So on our little stroll over there, you can get kind of a better look at Florence here. And this is our favorite city.
Yeah. Florence was my favorite because it had I feel like it had the most, how do I want to say this? I think it had the best balance of kind of like urban city vibe with the history and the beautiful architecture.
It did help that this was the centerpiece.
Yeah.
The Florence Duomo is just...
It's the most beautiful.
You'll know, like every time we walk past it, we took a picture of a video. Look how excited Amanda is just by seeing it. The fact that it's green and pink obviously helps. Those are her.
They made it for me. And I saw it right before Wicked was coming out.
Yeah, it was like a sign. Yeah, it was good. But this is the restaurant that we went to.
That's really good wine.
Yeah.
If you find that wine anywhere, buy it.
It's a white wine. It was good stuff.
It's delicious.
This place, that was my single piece of ravioli. And you might be saying, well, maybe it's just really big on the camera. It's not. That was tiny. Amanda's tuna stuff? Is that
no, it was duck.
Duck, right. That was it. You got so much food and I got like nothing.
Yeah, you got very little.
Crazy. But also how pretty she is. This is a pretty shout out to Camilla.
Thanks, babe.
It's a great dress. And then,
who's Camilla?
The dress.
I'm just kidding. Camilla's the name of the store that we bought the dress from.
And then mine was from Calabar. It's good stuff. And that was why she knew it had a really beautiful view of the Duomo. It was our first night. Get some really romantic views there. Mm-hmm. The restaurant itself, the prices weren't crazy, which was nice. And I think we ended up being like some of the best dressed people there. It was fine. I wouldn't go back. I think there are much better restaurants in Florence than that place there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair assessment.
This is our first gelato experience in Florence.
Yeah, it was good.
This was good.
It was good.
It didn't live up to Como Latte, but we were pretty pleased with this.
I think
like,
this was our third favorite on the trip. I think this was our third favorite gelato that we had on the trip.
Which, when we're talking about our favorite versus our third, and there's that much of a disparity, that shows how I think there was very much a top two, and then like a battle for third and onwards and stuff. But again, we went back and hung out at the Duomo, and we got CC photos.
This tour,
highly recommend.
So good, do it.
Yes.
This is not Airbnb. This is, I think, Viator.
Yeah, that's right.
Highly recommend this tour. This is a little biscotti Cantucci shop.
That was our tour guide.
She was
Unsurprisingly, a woman was fantastic as a tour guide. Very entertaining, very funny, very knowledgeable. Answered questions in depth. This is a walking tour, so I think it was 2.5-ish hours and included lunch and stuff like. And this is the cool part about it, because we got to go. She took us to local spots that you just wouldn't, like, you'd walk past and say, oh, okay, maybe. But she would say, no, specifically, I'm taking you not just to local spots, but to local spots that have been local spots for like a century. Yeah. So this was one of them. We got to try. I've never really liked biscotti very much. It's always too crunchy and stuff.
This was different.
This was, very different.
This was so good.
It was so good, I didn't take any footage of it. Like, I was just enjoying it so much. I'm so annoyed that I didn't, because it was delicious. This place in particular, highly recommend.
This biscotti, so much like chewier and softer than what you think of when you think of biscotti. It didn't have that like hard, like teeth breaking crunch to it.
Yeah,
and this is a very traditional appetizer from Florence. You don't really see it.
Yeah, I should have kept filming that, because she actually got into the details of it. But the drink that it comes with, it's kind of like a rosé port.
Vinsanto.
Okay.
I don't know.
You remember everything. But this is the little old lady that runs it.
This is a different shop, actually.
Oh, that's right. This is the sandwiches. Never mind.
Yeah. So that was a bakery that woman owns and still works in. She's like in her 90s, and she's still, baking and running her shop, which is incredible. And we had those little like fried prosciutto sandwiches. Those were so good.
They're delicious. Now we're in the market,
the Central Market,
and we're going to try some truffles and truffle oils and all good stuff. So if anyone from Adelaide ends up watching this is their Central Market.
It's
like similar to a full-year farmers market.
Yeah, it's like an indoor farmers market almost.
Yeah. But we got to try different kinds of truffle: black truffle, white truffle. Honey,
but it's very important.
Truffle infused honey.
You lose all the flavor. And of the oil, we make a bigger, medium.
And they talk to us about how they get the truffle. It used to be pigs, but the pigs tend to eat too much of it, and it's worth so much money that they ended up training very specific dogs that are only bred, as far as I know, in Italy, to be able to find it, and they're trusted to not eat it as well.
Yeah.
So, they make a bit more of a profit that way. But that's
the honey.
A little bit of honey there with the truffle over the top. And then, she took us to this, again, local restaurant run by a family for generations. The food was okay. I probably wouldn't go back to this place, to be honest. It wasn't bad.
This tasted as close as we got to just like a home-cooked meal.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
This tasted just like something that you would cook at home.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was comforting,
There wasn't anything like over the top or like overly unique about it, I don't think. But it was like very comforting. Very cozy.
Now, if you've seen the TikTok that we shared already, we've got to put it on Reels, but La Strega Nocciola. This was number one for gelato for us in Florence. Yeah. And this is still on the tour. This is how the tour finished. She took us to this place here. And she had said the other place she recommends is the other one that we just showed you before as well. So Amanda knows how to research gelato. I'll say that. She knew the spots.
I do my research
we were
when
tossing
it
up
comes to
between
ice
those
cream.
places.
Yeah.
So of course we went back to the Duomo. We went and tried on some shirts. I don't do well in a turtleneck, but I tried.
That was more of a mock neck.
Now this is my place right here.
Donnie was obsessed with this sandwich.
gnocchi. This sandwich shop I had seen on TikTok, and I was like, we got to try it because apparently it's good. This overdid the hype. I love this place. We went back to it. I want to go back to it right now. I miss those sandwiches. It's delicious. It's so good. You'll see briefly here, the number one, which was the suicide, because it's got a kick to it. And they were like, it's very spicy. And I tried it, and it's like, it had a kick. It wasn't crazy, but all the flavor. I love it. Yeah. I need more wine.
I
I'm having way too much
had
fun.
a
It's
sandwich
so
that
good.
I can't remember exactly what was on it. I want to say it was like ricotta and honey and walnuts, and I don't remember exactly, but it was really good.
So many napkins.
Yeah, you did kind of put the napkins in
Yeah.
front of the sandwich.
I was just so
which was
excited to
tricky,
eat
but
it.
you
I
were
didn't know what I
very
was doing.
excited and you were very hungry.
I polished that sandwich off, let me tell you. That's one of my happiest eating memories. I loved it.
The crunch of the focaccia with all the
So
it
good.
just
I don't normally like a crunchy bread either because I feel like it just cuts up my gums. But the way they did it, phenomenal. This was one of our favorite restaurants that we went to in Florence. So right by the Duomo, I wanted to show how close it is to it. It wasn't really busy. We were surprised because the food there was delicious. Which
another restaurant on the fork, by the way, and I think
Yes.
we got like 50% of this meal.
Yeah, which was crazy. So because of that, we ordered some extra stuff, which is fun. And that's the best part about the fork as well. You can actually spend some extra money to have a really fun experience, and you end up not paying a crazy amount for it, which is nice. As you can see, it's just this cute little restaurant. It's not a crazy amount of tables or anything like that, or bricks back there and everything.
Yeah. The ambiance at this restaurant was really lovely.
Nolarium, that's what it is there.
Osteria Nolarium.
Yes. Started with the calamari.
Delicious.
This was good. I've never really seen calamari like this before. Because Amanda, we've been married long enough that Amanda is all about putting lemon all over seafood now, which was great.
I put lemon on my
No, but like
seafood.
drenching.
Yeah.
There's got to be so much lemon.
I put more.
This was good. I've always looked at generally Greek stew calamari best that I've found and stuff like that, but this was up there with some of the best calamari I've ever had. It was
There wasn't so much breading on it, but it was still crispy.
Yeah.
Without needing a ton of breading on it. Donnie got his Florentine steak.
I did.
It was huge.
I was told I had to get it, so I got it. It was too much food. It was good. Don't get me wrong. I would recommend it if you like steak, get it. But this won't get enough time. This ravioli, that's what that is. It looks like
so
it looks
good.
like mush, right?
It looks terrible, but here's what it is. It's like ravioli stuffed with mashed potatoes, covered in a white sauce with those things on top are truffle shavings.
And there was a bit of a mushroom sauce with it as well, I think. That was phenomenal.
That was so good.
I would go back to that restaurant for that one dish.
Yeah.
It was
definitely
so good.
Ugh,
and actually,
yum.
I will say I've never been a huge fan of tiramisu, but it's just not the flavor that I generally like. I don't like the texture of it and stuff, but the way they do it proper in Italy, I don't know, maybe I've just had schmeck ones. I used to work at the cheesecake shop in Australia. We had a tiramisu cake and didn't care for it. This, delicious.
On the note of tiramisu, we kind of skipped over it in Rome because I think we were talking about other things. If you're looking for good tiramisu in Rome, 2 sizes.
Oh yeah, there was a photo of us doing that. Yeah.
That is really, really good. Anyway, back to Florence.
And yeah, actually, if you do that Segway tour, they take you to that and they give you the tiramisu.
Yeah.
Segway
yeah,
tour.
It was part of the Vespa tour.
Yeah, so do that. But yeah, as you can see, we're back at the Duomo. Amanda had to have a nighttime photo shoot. I feel bad. I just saw Felicia text saying that she's trying to get on to the YouTube thing.
I'm sorry, Felicia.
I hope
she
you
text
figure it
me?
out.
Maybe I can help.
Yeah, maybe you can text her.
Nope.
Anyway, but yeah, we did a photo shoot at the Duomo. This thing's just we visited it probably 3 times a day, and every time that we saw that we wanted to look at was gorgeous.
It's just so pretty.
Yeah, we can chill a bit here because we went back. This is that same night as we did the walking tour, by the way. So we went back to La Strega Maggiore, like 10:15 at night. I think it was 50 degrees out,
Yeah.
so like 9 degrees Celsius.
We're all
Winter
wearing
coats, everything, but everybody's getting the gelato. Here's a big tip. I put this in the video as well. Silver tins. If the gelato doesn't have silver tins over the top, and we found specifically the circular ones, it's not authentic. It's full of preservatives. Was it just preservatives? They said.
Preservatives, yeah.
It's not the same. It's not the authentic, really proper creamy stuff full of flavor. If you go to Italy and you're looking for gelato, if you see all of the flavors sticking up and it's all bright and colorful out the window, that's the tourist trap. Leave that alone. You want to make sure you cannot see the gelato.
Yeah.
And then you try it so you know which one you want after that.
It won't taste bad.
No,
if
no,
you
I
get
mean,
the big mounds of things, it's just not going to be the authentic Italian gelato.
And I would say it's worth it. Like if it's in Australia and it's summer, then that's all you're gonna find. And stuff like that. Which is the shop name of a popular one in Australia. It all looks like the colorful stuff. Like, yeah, it's good. But if you're in Italy and you see that, that's what you want.
You're there. You should get the authentic gelato if you're in Italy, and it's cheap, by the way. Yeah. I think a little cup like that costs like $3.50 or something like that. It's not expensive to get the real authentic gelato in Italy.
Yeah.
Some more time spent on a train. I think this was on our way to Pisa.
Oh, that's right. Yes, the Florentians. I can't remember Florentians. I can't remember what they're called, but they hate the Pisans. I'm just making up words now.
People who live in Florence hate people who live in Pisa, and vice versa.
It's all about salt. Something to do with salt. Oh no, it started before the salt because the salt came apart.
Yeah, there was something about how they're both trying to win the Pope's favor way back in the day. Mm-hmm. And then Pisa, because it was close to the ocean, had access to all of the salt, and then they wouldn't trade salt with Florence. And then because of that, Florence started making their bread without salt, and now Florence still to this day makes their bread without salt.
Yeah.
Kind of as like an FU to Pisa.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. We'll talk more about it when we get to the wine tour, which is where we got this wine from, by the way. So we'll get there. Yeah. I will say there wasn't much to do in Pisa aside from the obvious thing that we're about to go and do. But some of the views that we had, like this one in particular, was really cool. On the way back, it was even better. There were some fun things to look at, but they told us Pisa, this is pretty much what you do. You go, you look at a tower that's falling over, and you leave. That's how they said it. I'm not giving.
This was Donnie's failed attempt to try to take a funny picture.
I was trying to put my foot on, like I was leaning up against the cathedral, pushing.
I think it's pretty clear what you're trying to do.
Well, no, I want to like show specifically what I was trying to do with my back.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just random. Like I was really trying to line up, and I will say I wasn't directed very well.
Okay.
Because look how perfect that one is. Just saying. Just saying.
If we weren't sitting on my favorite rug, I would throw this wine at you.
From Turkey, by the way. If you want us to do a video on Greece and Turkey, let us know, and we can do that. We've got not quite as much footage, but we do have enough because it turns out we have way too much footage. So this is inside the tower. Climbing the tower was a fun time because you might assume that they had fixed like the staircase in there, so it's a nice safe climb up.
Oh no.
But no, it's the original. So you're walking at an angle the entire like sometimes you're leaning forwards as you walk, sometimes you're backwards, sometimes you're about to fall to the side. Yeah. It's bizarre.
I will say the way up was like a little trippy. The way down is definitely scarier than the way up.
Well, especially when you're when you get to the point where you're leaning forward.
Yeah, and you're walking like downstairs.
Oh my God, it's crazy. Felicia's texting us something. I don't know. Can you?
Felicia, what are you saying? Felicia.
Shout out to Felicia. She's watching. Love you. So yeah, more here. While we're looking at a couple of photos up here, if you're in the live chat, say something so we can see who's watching.
Yes.
And give you shout outs. And
Felicia wants us to do a video about Disney too.
Oh, we're going to Disney in just under a month. So
in February.
I think we can do that. Hopefully at some point we'll go for a much longer trip to Disney and it'll be easier to take content, but for you, Felicia, we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it. They had like 5 of these bells at the top of the tower. This is all at the top after we climbed to the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Felicia says she does not know how to shout out in the live chat.
Maybe the live chat's not working. Maybe that's on us. I'm sorry if it's not everybody.
Sorry, Felicia.
Sorry about that. We love you though.
Yeah, this is all at the top of the tower. You do get some like really beautiful views.
Yeah. I didn't know that cathedral was right next to it as well. But so it doesn't. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if from your point it looks big, or not. It doesn't look that tall, but
Felicia says nothing wrong with the live chat. It's for sure me.
This works as a live chat, Felicia. We see you. We love you. But yeah, there was a long way up to get all the way up there. It's not a short building.
280 steps or something like that.
I think you counted, and I think you got it right as well.
Yeah.
And this thing leans, man. Romans don't know how to build anything. It's crazy.
Why did they do this?
Because the thing is, I thought this was special because it was the only one that leans and survives.
You
it's
see
just leaning everywhere in Italy.
You see leaning towers everywhere in Italy.
I'm proud of this. You directed me well.
This was a good one.
This was a good one. I was very proud of that. This is not. Amanda tried really hard to do a head tilt shot from the back, and it didn't quite work. This was a decent one. So this is in the cathedral right next to it. Like all the cathedrals had incredible artwork in them, I will say, but that thing, just how it doesn't fall is beyond me.
This was some really crappy pizza we had next to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but it was cheap.
Yeah.
And we needed to eat, so we ate it. It was like very inexpensive.
Yeah. I don't know why I expected more from Bar El Salvador in Pisa, but this was cool. So as you can see, it's like 4:30ish in the afternoon, just after. We're walking back across the bridge that we would walk to get there. The sun is starting to set, and as you can see, the moon is on one side of the river. Yeah. Love that zoom functionality that I got with the new phone there. And then we look in the other direction. So slow. Take everything in. So the moon on one side and the sunset on the other.
Yeah, the sunset.
Which is really sweet.
That was a beautiful moment.
Yeah. And
going across that bridge.
Not plans at all. That's just when we were heading back after we did and stuff.
Yeah, really lovely views from that bridge.
Little happy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite shots from the whole trip, actually. That was really sweet.
Yeah.
I like that one.
This mural by actually an American artist. I can't remember his name now.
Covering the eyes up there. So
But yeah, all of these, all of the figures kind of represent something different.
Yeah.
But it's a very famous mural that's in Pisa. So if you're going to Pisa, just look up like Pisa famous mural and you'll probably find it.
Yeah, it was very close to the train station as well, which is the easiest way to get there. So, and Osteria Pastella, we'll get into that later. We've got some opinions on this place. But right across from there, this is after we got back to Florence from Pisa. We were just walking randomly. We took a different street to walk back from the train station. We saw this. What the heck is this thing? So Amanda's already in there. I went back out to film this just because of how kind of special it was. But as you can see, it's obviously very pretty.
So it's basically a perfumery, and I'm trying to remember. Santa Maria Novella, I think, is the name of it.
How do you do that?
I spent a lot of time researching before we went. So
watching with Grandma. Love hearing about your travels. We get to plan our full trip soon. Yes, we do. Yes, we do, Julie. We can't wait.
We're very excited.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Grandma. Love you.
So yeah, this is Santa Maria Novella. It is, I think, the oldest perfumery in Italy.
I think they said in Italy.
Yeah. I think it was founded in like the 13th century. Very old. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous inside. They decorated it beautifully for Christmas. All of those decorations on the way in were like really enchanting and lovely. The scents that they were selling at the perfumery were not for us. They were kind of like honestly, very
terrible.
very overpowering scents, very old-fashioned scents.
I'm sure someone loves them.
I'm sure.
I am not a fan.
We do not have a sophisticated enough nose to appreciate these fragrances, so they were not for us. But I'm glad that we went inside and got to see it. It was really beautiful.
When I tell you the relief I had when Amanda was like, I don't know if this kind of scent is for me. Oh, thank goodness, because I was not enjoying it at all.
You didn't want to be like stuck with me wearing those scents.
Like, no, you've got. I like your sense that you have and your taste in perfumeries and stuff, and that was not it, and I appreciated that. This is a mini version of the Duomo. This isn't the actual Duomo, but as you can see, they themed this thing off of it. This was almost like a facade, I think, of something that had burnt down.
This is just me being really happy walking through Florence at night.
Skipping along. She's having a good old time. As you can tell, we were really living our best in Florence. Cannot stress.
I was so
how much
happy
we
in
love
Florence.
enough.
Oh, Osteria Bella Donna. This was a really nice
Oh
meal.
yeah, that's right. This was nice actually. I enjoyed this one.
This was really beautiful.
This is a traditional, not that one.
That's
This one here is the traditional Florentine.
Ribollita,
Yeah, Ribollita.
I think.
That's right.
And that was minestrone, which we have in America as well. But like, it was cold out, and just having these like soups was so cozy at the beginning of a meal. We were so cold, and we'd been walking around all day. This was the same day we went to Pisa, so we had been like out and about outside the whole day. So this was like a really nice, cozy, warming meal that we needed.
I would recommend this. It's not like the tastiest thing in the world, but this is like the traditional what they used to eat centuries ago. It's like they would, because of the lack of salt, because fuck you, Pisa is what they would say. They had to dry out their bread completely, and then the way they would bring life back to their bread is to put it in this soup in particular.
Yeah, so it's like stale bread that they like crumbled up and put into the soup. Basically.
This was my last venture with truffle because I got sick of it by that. I felt like we had to try it because of where we were.
That pasta was so good. The red sauce pasta, that was delicious.
I think I tried to tease you while looking at this because, as you can see, there's plenty of cheese on there. I was like, "Oh, would you like extra cheese with that?" And you're like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of course I
was
would.
kidding, but okay.
And then one more trip to Strega-Nocciola.
Well, because of course.
Because we were close to it.
Yeah.
I think we were like a 3-minute walk away.
Yeah,
we were like, we gotta go.
Oh, no, we could have been a 15-minute walk away. We would always gone back. Oh yeah, I talked about it on the TikTok video, but mascarpone cheese as a flavor is traditional there, and we tried it because they told us to on the tour. We both loved it. So as you can see, we both got it again.
I think Strega-Nocciola had my favorite pistachio flavored gelato on the whole trip, including come il latte.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think that's a personal preference thing because the pistachio gelato at come il latte had a more salty flavor.
Yeah.
And I'm not typically a huge fan of like salty sweet mixed together. So I preferred the pistachio at La Strega-Nocciola. It was a bit sweeter. It had less of that saltiness to it. It did have a little bit still, but it was a better balance, I thought.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't quite remember too much about it, but I remember us talking about that where it was Il Come Latte was our number one, but there were some flavors at La Strega that were better.
Yeah.
This was, cheers, grab your wine. This is our wine tour that we did. So that last maps that I showed was where we were. So it was, the funny thing is these guys were very like, yes, we are from Florence. This is like dead in the middle between Pisa and Florence.
Yeah.
And these guys hated Pisa. It was hilarious. This guy talked more crap about Pisa than anyone else.
Yeah, that's true.
Now that I say this guy, I realize he's not in the video. He'll be here at some point. But there's the rooster.
What's his name again?
He's
Oh.
only
Just
the rooster.
The rooster, yeah.
Okay.
This rooster was aggressive, and we were told not to engage with the rooster.
Apparently he had
So we
attacked
didn't.
some people before. He didn't attack me, thankfully. But yeah, the views on this place. So this is the vineyard, at least part of it down here. They've got more on the other side. But this, I keep always wanting to call it a brook. What is it called?
A marsh.
The marsh. This is where the wine that we're drinking right now that they talk about later, this one here, this is the berry. Actually, Julie, you're watching. This is where we got the wine from. It's this marsh that we were talking about, that specifically the soil from all of this creates the grape that goes into this. This is why this is the only place in the world where you can get the wine that tastes like this.
And the name of the vineyard is Dalle Nostre Mani, which means from our hands, because they do everything organic. They pick all their grapes by hand. Everything is very natural.
Felicia says so. Thanks.
Gorgeous. Yes. Yeah, this was one of the most beautiful places I think we saw on the trip.
This, I think, was my number one tour.
Yeah, this was my favorite
loved
tour
this
for
tour.
sure. Well, if we can figure out how to link things in the description
Definitely link this
after
one.
this live is done, this is definitely a tour that we will link. This one was found on AirBnb. Highly, highly recommend this tour because it wasn't just the winery tour. It was, we got to tour the vineyard and then we
This-
got to do wine tastings.
Sorry, this is his house, by the way. just because in case people are wondering,
The
like,
tour
what is he
guide?
taking a video? Yeah, he was telling us where his house is across the way, and that's it. That's what this is. But just to move on from there. So anyway, sorry, you're saying.
Yeah. So we got to see all these gorgeous sites at the vineyard. They're so cute.
The older pig was hiding. He didn't want to come out. He's kind of old. He's like,
Bruno or something?
yeah, I think it is Bruno.
Yeah. Because I think I made a couple of we don't talk about Bruno jokes.
No headaches, Julie says from the wine. Yes, it is so good. I will say we got two. This is our favorite now.
Yeah, the Foglia Punta,
Yeah.
which means pointed leaf,
Yes.
because it was like the special type of grape leaf that they use.
Yeah. The other
to make the
one.
wine.
So we got two wines. That one and then another one, which was a split of that pointed leaf, and then another particular one from the marsh. But this one's my personal favorite. I will say. You got to do the scrolling. Here we go. There's the pointed leaf.
Yeah, I think
Is
that's
it?
is that the round one or the pointed one?
I can't even tell.
I don't
now.
know.
We were experts on the day.
There were two kinds of grapes. There were three kinds of grapes that they grew on this vineyard, but two of them are very rare. One of them is like a round leaf grape variety.
Which is common around the area,
Yeah.
not specifically to the marsh.
Right. Yes. So the round grape leaf thing is rare, but they grow it at other vineyards as well. Whereas the pointed leaf grape was one that is specific only to this particular vineyard because the conditions created by the marsh that's nearby are required to grow this specific grape. So having this very wine here is this wine is, you can only get it at this specific vineyard, Dalle Nostre Mani. Yeah, highly recommend this tour. It was so much fun.
Even if this, I didn't get any footage of this, but they create their own little cinema with a full interactive experience. It's not just the TV. They do a slideshow on the walls that goes with what's on the TV and everything. Those are all the wines that we sampled.
And then there's a part where they like put a storm on TV and they have fans in front of you that like blow at you. It was very fun.
It was like we were at Universal.
Yeah.
It was
a
cool ride.
It was
like,
a little it was a little campy, but like in a really fun way. And then for the wine tasting, which was excellent, there were 5 different wines that we got to taste. They paired them each with an appetizer and a song. So they would play music to go with the appetizer and the wine they were drinking to kind of like evoke whatever feeling that wine is supposed to bring out. It was so cool. It was so much fun. We had such a good time. We got lucky. Apparently they have groups of like up to 16 people that go on this tour typically. But our group was very small. There was only 6 of us.
Yeah, it was great. And on top of that as well, we had booked the evening-ish tour, I think it's called, which was cheaper. But it turns out we were the only ones that had booked that. So they asked us if we could do the morning tour with everyone else and not charge us extra for it. So we got a great deal.
We did,
And we spent because of it. It was
we bought some bottles of wine.
I just missed Felicia's message.
Oh,
if you wouldn't mind checking. Sorry, Felicia, I missed that.
I'll see what it is. I'll see what it says.
Like the song?
Yes.
She says
this was delicious.
Amazing, and
this
also
so
looks like it's just the 2 of you. It doesn't look crazy busy.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
No, it wasn't at all. This looks like nothing. This was so delicious.
It was so good. It
At
was
this
like
point,
a
we were
tiny
kind of
pizza.
drunk, but
It was like a tiny pizza.
Oh yeah.
So every time we heard Volare while we were in Italy was very exciting, obviously, because it is the song that plays in the Lizzie McGuire movie when they're riding the Vespa.
So it's kind of a theme of the whole trip in the first place, in the Vespa tours in Rome and stuff. And then at random, they're like, "Oh, this wine, I feel like this song covers the emotion," and then it plays Volare. It's like, it's just meant to be. It's so good. If anyone went to our wedding, Hilary Duff played a special part in that. So it's a Lizzie.
I can't remember what wine this was paired with. I think it was the round leaf one, though.
I think you might be right, because I think it finished with this one, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it finished with the one that was like a mix of the 2 different grapes. I think this might be this one.
This is the one. Yeah. Because they work so hard to make it. It's such a big deal. Yeah. This is the stuff, for sure. I danced that song on my wedding to the Mark version.
Yeah, we were definitely those tourists who, anytime Volare was played, we were like, "It's the Lizzie McGuire movie."
No one
we
in
got
the
some
group
looks.
reacted. This group of 6 was like, okay. Okay, we are. This is not the group.
They were nice though.
Yeah,
It was a fun
everything,
group
yeah.
of people to be on the tour with.
All the appetizers are really good. They were all
Mhm.
made by the chef you'll meet soon enough.
I don't know if we have a picture of.
There we go. This is the order that we did it in. So it started with a white, which Amanda's normally the white drinker. I remember you not
Yeah,
loving the white.
I didn't love the white. It was very acidic, very tannic.
Mhm.
Which is not my vibe in wine in general. So not my favorite white. So we didn't get any of that. The Arialdo is kind of their like table wine.
Yeah.
So just kind of
That's
their
good.
like very typical. That's like a very common grape that you can get in the Tuscan region.
Mhm.
And then Foglia Tonda, that's the round leaf wine. I can't remember what he compared the flavor of that wine
Yeah.
to.
It didn't compare to this one. I remember
No.
that. It wasn't bad, but this
Yeah.
is the one.
The Foglia Punta, which is what we're drinking now, is he compared it kind of more to like a Cab Sav.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's delicious. I think it's my favorite.
Yeah.
we were behind the rest of the tour group, and Donnie was taking videos,
It was
which
just so pretty.
is
out
what we were
there.
kind of doing on this trip. But I was also like, we gotta go.
There's more animals on the farm that we were at as well. Felicia, saw your message. Yes, we would love to go back to Florence and just do a big group tour for everyone of all of our favorite spots.
Yeah, we would totally do that.
100% would love to go
Who
back
wants to come to
Florence.
Florence with us? We'll do a group trip.
We are actually, fingers crossed, Julie talked about it before, our trip coming up later this year. There is a spot that normally is reserved to you go there and you go to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. We've done that. I think we might go to Florence.
Yeah, I
So,
think we're gonna go
Julie,
to
I don't know if
Florence.
you've been to Pisa before. I would definitely recommend seeing the Leaning Tower. But if you want to come to Florence with us, and we're doing that. So yeah, for sure. He took some more photos. This is a nice shot, actually. I like that one.
Yeah.
It's very pretty. Oh, okay. We didn't delete enough of these. But then
We got to make pasta. This was
make
the
pasta.
same tour. This is the same tour
Yeah.
as the winery. They brought us back. They introduced us to their chef. She was incredible. She did not speak a word of English, so our
Nothing
tour guide
at
stayed
all.
with us and translated
And
the
yet
whole time.
we were still able to figure out that she loved Amanda and her skills in the kitchen, and she laughed at me and my attempt to roll out the dough.
Yes, that's right. I was rolling out the pasta, and she looked at me and she goes, molto bene. And I said, I just got an A.
Yeah.
I just got an A in pasta.
And then she looked at me and she was like, no, it's okay. The only English that we heard from her was no. Florence sounds like the way to go.
Florence is always the way to go, to be honest.
And
That's
this
our
is the
tour
tour guide, and
and
this is the old lady chef. They were so sweet.
They were so sweet. We
He
had a great time.
hates pizza with a
hates
passion.
Pisa. His name is Matteo.
Yeah, it was lovely. He talks about he's drunk every single day, no matter what, and he loves his job. But
He
he's
loves
becoming a.
No, he is a sommelier.
He's a sommelier, but he doesn't spit the wine out because he thinks that's stupid. So he gets smashed at every wine tasting that he does. And it was saying like, yeah, people there tell me, I really shouldn't do it. And I tell them to shut up. I know more about wine than you do. Leave me alone.
He was very funny.
Yeah.
He was a really good tour guide.
I think his best line was we were looking at the new tower that they had built because it burnt down in a fire for their local area. And he said, you'll notice one thing that makes it much more special than the Leaning Tower of Pisa in particular. So what is it? Ours is straight. Fuck Pisa. Okay, fair enough.
We know how to build a tower. But yeah, that tour was incredible. This was the dessert that the chef made for us.
This is kind of like a frozen. We found it in the market later, right?
Yeah.
The chocolate salami.
Yeah, chocolate salami. That's
Yeah.
right. It was delicious. But yeah, we got to eat the pasta that we made.
Yeah.
And then they served up more of this
is
wine.
it.
Oh
Wait,
yeah,
is
this is the experience. Yeah.
Yes.
My Farm, 3 experiences in one day, hosted by Julio Wilson. Do this tour. $80 per person. That's Australian dollars. So that's more like $65 American. $60
Yeah.
American.
Even less,
So completely worth it. You get a meal, you get a wine tasting, you get a cooking class, and you get to tour this beautiful vineyard. It is such a steal
Cannot recommend
for
this
this
one enough.
tour. do this tour.
Julie,
Like,
honestly, if we had more time on that single day that we were there, I'd say we should just go do this tour because it was so much fun. But
like, if we can recommend any one tour to you on this whole trip, this one. Do this
that's
tour.
the one, 100%. Yeah, you nailed the tours in and out of Florence. When it came to that one, it came to the walking tour on our first day in Florence. Amanda, look, here's the thing. Amanda is not a travel guide or anything like that, a travel agent. If you're booking something, I don't know how much time she has. She doesn't have really much time at all. But if you can get Amanda's help for a trip anywhere, she finds the best tours. I don't know how she does it every time.
If we go on a trip together, you bet I'm doing my research and finding the best tours for us to do. Okay.
And then Cece again. We had to try on some leather jackets while we're there as well because they're famous in Florence. I was very excited for this place in particular because they had a affogato that I was desperate to try, especially after that very sad one that I had in Rome. As you can see, we're very excited. Maybe me a little more. But this is one that's kind of social media famous. Ice cream on the sides and coffee in the middle. And I am happy to say that I was happy with this. Like, it's an affogato. It's never going to be the most mind-blowing thing. It's coffee and ice cream. It is vanilla ice cream. It is what it is. But this was exactly what it was meant to be. It tasted good. It was smooth. It didn't feel like anything got lost. It was great. What message did I just make?
Felicia said the deal on the tour is amazing. She'll pay that for one bottle of tequila.
Exactly. It's true.
Yeah,
it's true. And what was it? We paid...
I think this wine was like 18 euros a bottle or something like that.
One was 18 and one was 22 or something like that, depending on which one that we got. And yeah, we were expecting it to be like 40, 50 minimum a bottle.
Yeah.
And
we got 6 bottles. We did gift, and the shipping is kind of expensive. It was like 60 euros for shipping to the United States, which isn't terrible really when you think about like the weight and how far it's going, but it is like an extra expense. But if you just want to buy like 1 or 2 bottles, you can put it in your checked bag as long as you like wrap it up so it's nice and safe.
Yeah. So we went back to my favorite sandwich place, and she was very sweet because they were closing. And they were like, "Don't worry about it, come back."
On our trip, I feel so bad. We keep going to these places, and they're like, "We're closing."
To be fair, it's 8 o'clock there, so we expected them to be open till 9, 10 o'clock. But it turns out they were closing at 8. But they kept it open. Not only that, she ended up just like, "Do you want some?" And she just gave me some of that meat to eat right there. Yeah. And then she did more to make for us.
They were very gracious. Nobody seemed like upset that we were there.
Yeah,
they were very grateful, I think, that we wanted to eat there.
They were, which I wasn't expecting as well for such a hot tourist spot. But I should say, so at that point, we were dead that night, so I didn't even film us eating those sandwiches. Amanda was like, "Cameras off, we're done."
Yeah,
turn the camera back on tomorrow. So this is the next day. There was a solid like lapse of about 15 to 16 hours there, but we did not film anything at all.
Listen, I get burnt out from the camera occasionally.
Yeah.
I just want to eat my sandwich. Don't take a video of me.
And we've never really done this kind of like travel content before for a purpose like this before as well. So yeah, we'll see how much more we do going forward. But this was is this the bridge? The Florence Bridge?
Yes,
with
the Ponte Vecchio.
I don't know.
So this is a bridge where they have lots of like really beautiful jewelry shops.
This is a good shot. I like this.
It's a very famous bridge. Some of the jewelry shops are definitely like legit and really high quality. Some of them are not. So make sure to do your research before you go there. We, I think, played it right and went there really early in the morning before they actually opened up so that we didn't get tempted to buy anything and spend a ton of money.
There was one ring I was very tempted by. In hindsight, I'm glad I didn't get it. I definitely don't need it. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool to check out. This was the central markets we were talking about before. We went back, and this is upstairs. Yeah. And the food here looked so, as you can see, it looks so good. And it's just everywhere, all up there, all different kinds of food all over the place. Yeah. This is the kind of place I'd love to go back and just hang out for a day. Like, we were talking about if there's one place we'd go just to live in Florence for a couple of weeks or even a month. In Italy, it would be Florence. Yeah. And this would be out hanging out like on a Friday.
I love this quiche. This quiche was like no big deal, but it was also incredible.
It was better than it should have been. Yeah. It was one of those kinds of things. So then we went back downstairs and checked out more of the fun stuff. What was it? And everything.
It also looked like salami, but it's chocolate.
Yeah, the chocolate that shows up.
Yeah. We did not eat a single cannoli in Italy.
we didn't find many. Honestly,
Yeah.
the more cannolis that I found that anywhere else were in the crappy travel.
Like the really tourist trappy places
Yeah,
had a lot of
exactly.
cannolis. I wonder if we were in the wrong regions.
Yeah, actually, maybe that's more of a southern thing.
Everything in Italy is very regional.
Mhm.
So there are certain dishes that you will find all over the place in Rome that you won't find in a single place in Florence or Milan. Like, it is, all of the food there is very region specific.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think maybe we just weren't in the right place for cannolis.
Even though it was so cold, there were little lizards running around, which is kind of cute. I didn't expect to see that in Italy, so I got very excited and watched this one just dive
Okay,
into
fast
the thing.
forward. We've been on this live for an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Osteria Pastella.
Okay.
We have thoughts. Okay.
If you listen to the podcast and we talked about places that should have been great, that we were recommended, that we didn't love, this is the biggest culprit. As you can see,
with a caveat.
Yeah.
So this place is very famous
and we got a lot
for,
of footage here as well,
yes.
so we can talk through.
This place is very famous for their pasta that they make inside of the cheese wheel. It's very TikTok famous. It got really big because of that.
But not just that, also the vibe of the place as well. Like you can
Yeah.
see they gave us some champagne as we came in. It's kind of a romantic spot. There's beautiful things everywhere.
Oh, it's like a really lovely experience of a meal.
Yeah.
The pasta that they make inside of the cheese wheel, the truffle pasta,
which you're going to see that whole process
of
now.
it is incredible, I will say.
Pause you for a sec. This is their version, their spin on calamari. There's bacon there, so I was very excited by it. I tried it, and that was some of the saddest calamari I've had. I was kind of disappointed.
It was
by
pretty
that.
plain.
It was, just.
This is a salad. It was okay.
This is a salad. I don't know if you've seen one
It
before.
was fine.
The pomegranates were nice.
It was greens with pomegranates and cheese.
This, if you go to this restaurant, and I recommend you do go, this is what you want. But it kind of shows. So that's
brandy, I think.
Yeah, brandy. You kind of talk through it.
The cheese.
I'll show a little bit of this and then fast forward.
So he puts brandy on the cheese, and then he's gonna light it on the fire to kind of melt some of the cheese.
You can do this. Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
there you go. And it's
Little bit of
it's fun to watch. He scoops the fire and will drop it back into the cheese wheel. But yeah, basically he's just melting the cheese, and then he's gonna scrape it all into the middle. They're making the pasta for me, and then I think one other person at our table.
Oh, there was
well.
5 of them, I think.
Oh, that's right, because they did the tables across the way as well.
Sorry. So then he goes, after he does all of that, he goes back and gets a fresh thing of pasta. Then pours it over the top. A bit of sauce in there, more brandy, and then just mixes it in. Pretty basic, but the taste of this
Delicious.
So yeah, as you can see, he's
this
doing
was delicious.
Amanda specifically asked for no extra pepper on top because she's a little black pepper averse.
Yeah, he gave me a very funny look, but black pepper does make me have coffee fits.
Between Amanda being allergic to wool and cashmere and
black
then
pepper.
black pepper, she didn't quite do as well as
I
she
struggled
wanted to
in Italy.
So this, at this point, we're like, yes, this place is.
Also, the waiter's very cute. Sorry, continue.
This was my dish. I'm gonna pause it. Right there. Doesn't look like anything too crazy. Fully burnt. This whole area is completely burnt and completely ruined the dish. I've never sent back a meal in my life. I ate multiple bites of this and I just couldn't do it anymore. I had to, and this this is over €30.
Yeah, this was not a cheap restaurant. I tried this dish as well. It was bad. I would not have been able to eat this whole dish either. It was not good.
I was then bummed when it was kind of a good and bad, where the guy, he took it and then he said, feel free to pick something else because, and this is what I picked here, because the chef said, no, that's the way it's supposed to be made. So I recommend you get something else because that's how it's supposed to be, which we literally just learned from that beautiful old lady.
Stop calling her an old lady.
She's so old. She was 80 years old. She's old. I think she was 85 or something.
She was sprightly.
I mean, she was. She made me feel bad about my pasta creating, but she was lovely too. But this is what I mean. Like, then they gave us some free limoncello, not because of that, just part of the experience of there. So it was very
mixed feelings about this restaurant. But what I can say is, I think it's worth going there if you only get the truffle pasta.
Yeah.
If you get the truffle pasta, it is worth the experience and worth the cost. We weren't a fan of really anything else that we tried on the menu.
Yeah, agreed. So this is now, we got to do finally a tour. And there's, look, May. Apparently
Hey.
May has something to do with Florence. So no wonder Amanda loves it so much.
Who knows? Yeah. This was inside of the Duomo.
Yes.
The inside of the Duomo, not nearly as beautiful as the outside, I will say,
Granted,
but
we
worth
didn't-
going through.
We
once.
didn't do this walking tour. That's people that have gone up there. You can also walk up here as part of that tour.
Yeah,
but
all the way up to the top.
we had done the Leaning Tower Pisa the day before, and Amanda was like, no, we're not, no
No more
you.
climbing.
We did
No
enough stairs
more
yesterday.
climbing.
We're not doing this again. But you can go all the way up. I think it's in there, actually. You can get up there as well as this area. There might be a third one somewhere. I can't remember. And then you can walk outside. That's what it is. Apparently, Grandma Lynn loves these. What are they
Stained
called?
glass windows.
Stained glass windows. So we took some extra photos. This is for you, Grandma Lynn.
You can go through these a little faster, I think.
Well, I wanted to see them.
Well, we can show them too.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
This is the little museum that's underneath, and this is.
This is across the way.
Yeah, this is across the way.
Just the detail.
Yeah, the
of
detail on
everything
these
they did.
doors and
It's-
everything.
yeah.
It's just beautiful.
The photos really don't do enough justice there, but like, it's all handcrafted.
Every single one of
everywhere.
these images is different. Like, there's not a repeated image anywhere, and it's just incredible.
So then I think we got a lot of footage of this place, so I might try to fast forward through a bit of this, but essentially they're reconstructing this thing again for the Jubilee for this year. So yeah, all of that's under construction, but even in this was a fairly small spot, but even this was just beautiful. The architecture, not just the architecture, but the design of things in Rome, just all of this stuff
The
is
floor-
just, sorry, not Rome, in Italy in general. It's just,
Anytime you go anywhere in Italy, look down and look up, because the floors and the ceilings are just as beautiful as everything else that you're seeing.
Florence just love their marble
Yeah.
with the greens and the things as well. This is the
Can you?
museum of the statue of David.
The Accademia, the Galleria Accademia.
That's the one. Yeah, there it is. Dell'Accademia di Firenze. Yeah. And there he
There's
is.
David.
He's much taller than I expected him to be.
He's huge.
Very big guy. Large butt.
It's a good bet. These are all the statues leading up to David.
Yeah, if you on the podcast, if you
We did
listen
a
to it,
Rick Steves audio tour from
Yeah.
this place because we were like, we're paying for so many tours, we got to do something for free.
yeah. And this is the designer. This
That's
is him. That's his name,
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo. I couldn't remember which name. But yeah, Michelangelo is the one. This room blew my mind because I walked in not expecting much, seeing a couple of sculptures and stuff like that, which I also have reservations about because I know in ancient Greek culture, you would never allow to do any kind of artwork of humans because that was reserved only for the gods.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
And then you go to Rome, and it's just all humans. Like, what is going on? It's all human. But yeah, that room, there was one guy, I can't
that
remember his
woman,
name. But,
dog
oh,
woman
yeah,
with
that's right.
boobs.
Hold on, let me see
Dog
if I can
woman with
zoom in on this
boobs.
for everybody here. This is why I took this photo. Yeah,
What
okay,
is
there we go.
happening?
Don't know why. Don't know why that's the thing, but definitely had to take a photo of it. The people of Florence back way when.
Some of the art in this museum, like, it's one of those things where the longer you look at it, the weirder it gets.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the art that's in this museum.
And Florence is known as being like the birthplace of the Renaissance. So they had a lot of weird stuff kind of like that.
I think that's
Which added to
another-
the charm of it, to be fair.
I think that's the reason why I love Florence so much. I think Rome is beautiful. Rome has so much gorgeous architecture. To me, Rome was so steeped in like Catholicism and that tradition that I have some personal issues with in regards to some of the beliefs and the teachings of the Catholic Church. That that it kind of got in the way of my enjoyment of some of Rome.
As opposed to Florence.
As opposed to Florence being the birthplace of the Renaissance, being, all about, all of these new ideas and art and things like that. I felt absolutely
There goes the body of wine.
It's okay. We're actually being responsible because we learned when we toured this place that because this wine is organic, you're really supposed to finish it within like 1 or 2 days of opening it.
This is true.
And this way we don't drink tomorrow.
Yes. Well, Amanda got her first limoncello spritz.
It was good.
She enjoyed very much, as you can tell. I got an Aperol. This is our favorite pizza place, I think, that we had in all of Italy. Not to say I don't feel confident that this is the best pizza place we could have had in the places that we went, because we didn't go to many. A lot of the ones that we went to were more tourist trappy, but this was great. The Alps were great. These things here. I think we open these up in the next one here. The pizzas were delicious. Yeah, there we go. Felicia sent us having a look.
Yes, I will do that.
There's Amanda's pizza, and I just got a simple margarita, and we liked the spot very much. We did go to Punch Pizza actually for dinner in preparation for tonight.
I think she's reacting to the dog woman with the boobs. She said, "What the actual? I'm not sure how I feel about it, even though I know art is a form of personal expression."
That's fair.
Same.
We got you,
Same, Felicia.
Look how excited Amanda is by her crazy pizza.
It was good.
Yeah, it was
had
good.
like a pistachio sauce on it. It was delicious.
This is Amanda taking my phone and being like, I'm taking my own footage of the love of my life. If you don't mind, I'll be back in a few minutes. And then I just stood there holding everything for a little while Amanda had some fun.
I have never felt this way about a piece of architecture in my life, but I love the Duomo in Florence.
Empire State Building. I'm so sorry. You've got nothing on the Florence Duomo.
The Florence Duomo is just the most beautiful place I've ever seen. It took my breath away every single time I saw it. It was like 2 blocks away from our Airbnb, and every morning we would walk past it, and I would say, "Buongiorno, amore." And every night walking back to our Airbnb, we'd walk past it, and I'd say, "Buonasera, amore," because I loved the Duomo.
Yeah. As you can tell, yeah, very much. Felicia sent another message. I mean, we should just keep that phone up. But I think it's a good one. It's an interactive one as well. They all are, but even more so.
She said the pizza looks incredible. Pizza's her favorite food of all time, so she needed to know all the pizza we had in Italy. I would say that
was the best one.
Was our favorite that we had. But if you're going, I don't know. I don't know that we had the best pizza in Italy.
To be fair, I believe Napoli is the true birthplace of
Naples.
Naples, yeah. So that might be the spot, Felicia. We haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
It's on the to-go list. So that might be the spot. But if we go to Florence, I'd recommend that place. We were very happy with it.
Yeah. More gelato. This place was good too.
Yeah, we wanted to try something different, and this was actually closer to where we were. And we saw they had the silver tins.
Yeah.
I think actually for me, this ranks number 3. I think this beat out the other one for me.
Honestly, I don't remember.
Yeah.
All the days started to bleed together at some point.
Yeah.
This was our Airbnb.
Yeah, you can get a closer look at this. So like we were talking about in Rome, where we got the charcuterie boards and stuff for breakfast, 20,000 steps a day. That didn't last very long. So here we actually went grocery shopping, got some eggs and stuff.
Eggs in Italy are expensive because they don't eat eggs like as a breakfast food the way that we do in the States. So eggs, I think it was like $6 or something for a carton of 6 eggs.
Yeah.
It was quite expensive to get eggs, but honestly, for the amount of walking we were doing, we were like, I need a breakfast with some like real protein. I need some energy for the day. So we decided to splurge a little bit and get some eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just more videos of our Airbnb.
That's where we were, yeah. And then, this was one of the saddest parts of the trip. This is our last shoot with the Duomo.
Yeah, this was the morning we were leaving Florence. That was my fake smile pretending to be happy.
That changes pretty quick.
sad.
We did a couple of little fun ones that we thought we might share later, just how big this thing is. And we didn't climb that one at some point. Like to go back and maybe do that.
Yeah.
It was fun. And then we did.
You can see how sad I am in my eyes.
And you see we're all packed up and ready to go. Where is the shot? There you go. She had to do a little shoot there. Having the best time. Looking at her love. And then we did that same video again. I can fast forward through that. This is the final look because we're about to head down the road to the train station.
Oh.
And she's sad, but she's happy they met at all. This is a sandwich place that is recommended all over the place, and it's at the train station. So we thought we'd try it. It was fun. I'm pretty sure they gave us the wrong sandwiches because I remember ordering this, and I was like, more truffle, damn.
Yeah. Oh, that was the one thing about this restaurant. Almost every single sandwich on the menu had truffle.
Yeah.
And we had been in Florence for so many days, and truffle is like a huge ingredient they use in Florence, and we were sick of it.
Yeah.
We were like, no more truffles because it's a very strong flavor. I will say I would be willing to give that sandwich place another try, but not go to the train station location.
That's a fair point. It is more of a chain, that one, though. It's not
Yeah.
like a local spot that's got spots everywhere. But now we jumped on the train, and now we are in Venice in a very pretty looking hotel room that had the coldest floors I've ever experienced. Didn't love this place. No elevator. Had to come up. It looked gorgeous in there. When we first walked in, like, this is great. Nespresso, fantastic.
We didn't actually end up using that.
We didn't use that at all. Some closet space. It's a very old hotel.
Yes.
But the floors were frozen.
The floors were very cold. And
Venice was
keep in
very
mind,
cold too.
Keep in mind we were there in November.
Yeah.
So it was cold and we knew it was going to be cold. But
Here's the
this
thing that got
hotel
me.
was especially cold.
This is the bath shower situation. There's no thing to block the water anywhere, so you have to sit down. Amanda found it very relaxing. I didn't feel the same.
I found it relaxing because I thought of it more as a bath than a shower.
I felt like I was going to make a mess. And I did. I didn't make much of a mess because I tried very hard.
You do have to be more careful. But we were only there for 2 nights.
Yeah.
So I only showered in there one time. So it was
hell to the no, Felicia says. I'm with you, Felicia. Ridiculous. Didn't enjoy that part of it at all.
But I will say accommodation in Venice is quite expensive.
Yes.
So that was one of the more affordable places we could find for the price that we paid compared to some of the other places.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty decent.
I'd say so.
But yeah, I if you want a nicer accommodation in Venice, you are going to pay a bit more for it.
This spot here was something that we had seen. I think Amanda had seen on social media, so we wanted to check it out. It's like they give you a basket of seafood
like fried
and stuff.
Seafood.
The stuff that we wanted was out, so we ended up getting. I can't even remember what this was. It was
like fish.
Some kind of fish. It wasn't great.
It was fine. Yeah, I would say they really a lot of blogs, a lot of videos that I saw really pushed this idea of the now I can't remember the name of it, but basically this idea that you get a bunch of snacks with your drinks.
This kind of thing, right?
Yeah, in Venice. I think it's
you don't have meals, you have snacks, basically.
Cicchetti. I think it's called Cicchetti.
I think so.
Or Cicchetti.
I think that one.
We were not overly impressed with any of the Cicchetti that we got.
Yeah, no, Amanda's, which is funny because Amanda, I was about to say, I prefer a meal than a snack, always. However, Amanda loves tapas, so we thought she was really going to enjoy it. But I think Italian meals were just so good. It just like, don't get me wrong, we love a bruschetta, but it didn't hit the same way at all. I don't think so. Yeah.
Just the food in general in Venice wasn't as good. I don't think as the food in Florence.
Yeah.
But Venice was gorgeous. Venice is a
beautiful.
place that you go for the sights, and the sights do not disappoint.
Yeah,
it is a beautiful place. It is so
kind of like tapas, Felicia. But I like tapas, and Amanda loves tapas. It was like that, but I don't think it.
It's more like you get like a bunch of appetizers, kind of, but they're kind of single serving.
So you get like one little piece of bruschetta, and that's your tapas kind of a thing, as opposed to a few to share.
But the idea is that you get like a plethora of them with your beverage, and it's like something that you do in between lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
And it's very common and very popular in Venice.
There was like a bar to the right over there, and just
there was music playing. I was dancing.
Music playing. This is just after seeing COVID and then seeing this was bizarre. It was kind of nice to see, but funnily enough, I ended up getting COVID from Venice, I think.
Yeah, you did.
And we didn't go in there, so yeah, which was kind of a bummer. But this was very similar to what we were talking about in Florence before, the bridge that has all the jewelry shops. This is almost exactly the same.
Is this the Rialto Bridge? Is that the name of it?
You do. That was the song that was playing at the club, so we had to make a little video doing that. But then we finally got to see the boats. One fun thing about the gondolas is that they always lean one way, and that's actually done on purpose. So we had seen them and thinking, oh, that's not a good sign. Why are they all
Ponte
leaning off?
Vecchio.
Not working.
Nice. They're supposed to do that because of where the person who's actually throwing it stands on the back. It counterbalances it. So that was kind of interesting. I thought there was just something wrong with them. This was cool. This is the Duomo in Venice, and just this whole scene in particular was really fun. Seeing that for the first time, the way the moon was and everything, and it's a very different style compared to what we had seen in Rome and what we had seen in Florence. So I was really excited by this shop.
My coat looks really weird because I was wearing my purse underneath it.
Yeah, these shots, I was like, this is true cool. My mum had told us actually to come to this place in particular. So we were very excited to check it out, to pay for the most expensive hot chocolates that we've ever had. So of course we went twice for the vibes. Amanda was very excited by this one.
This place was really fun. The inside is gorgeous. It's one of those places that it says Doni. Yeah. This is one of those places I think you kind of have to go if you're in Venice. You have to go once.
Don't go twice like we did. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend going twice the way that we did. We got a little overexcited.
No, I remember why we went twice. It's because we walked, it felt like all over Venice, and we did not see silver tins. And we wanted gelato, but everywhere didn't have the silver tins. We're like, let's go get the good hot chocolate again. Because that hot chocolate was good.
Yeah. The hot chocolate was different though. It was it was not sweet the way a typical hot chocolate is, but they serve it with packets of sugar, kind of like coffee.
Yeah.
So you just kind of mix in the sugar till it's like the sweetness that you prefer. But it's like a much thicker hot chocolate than you would typically get in the United States.
Yeah. So that was a theater that we just saw. This is their
water bus.
Yeah, the water bus system that they've got. So
similar to like a metro, but you're on a boat.
This is the ring, the style of ring that I was looking at getting. And yeah, upon looking at it now, I don't know why I was so obsessed with it.
You really liked it.
I did. And now I look at it like, I don't need that at all.
It's cool though.
I don't want that one. No, I'm good. I don't like it anywhere near as much as I did when we were there. I don't know why.
This is another place where we got the chicken.
Yeah. There was a club downstairs, so we were kind of dancing along. They were like, really? You want food right now? Yes, we are starving. There's nowhere else to eat. Please feed us. So, of course, we got mackerel spritz. And Amanda got this mint alcoholic beverage that she did not care for.
I did not like it.
I got real drunk real quick, as you can see, because I had to finish it, and I was just dancing along to the music. Yeah.
I finished both of our drinks after having a drink because you didn't finish yours.
It was too sweet.
Yeah, your bubblegum alcohol. It was a time.
It was a good time.
Excellent.
So this was fun. Waking up in Venice. I understand the whole, if you've ever seen the movie A Haunting in Venice, I was like, why would they do a scary movie in Venice? I get it. It's a creepy place. The amount of fog that comes through there, it's kind of a creepy spot. It's very romantic at points of the day, and it's a very kind of creepy.
This was very early in the morning because we rushed to this breakfast place. We got there, we were desperate for like a real breakfast with eggs and like some protein because we were just starving.
And it was freezing.
And
this morning was so
just
cold.
Open, and we were like, can you please give us breakfast in the next 30 minutes so that we're not late for our tour?
I think we only had like like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
They had to make it right away.
we
And
ate
scoffed it down.
so fast, and we were like, "Thank you so much."
But then we did a walking tour. And so this is an example of like a little square that they have all over the city in Venice. And they've got these, let me go back just a touch.
The little like well
Yeah,
in the middle.
wells in the middle. So every little square, community square would have one of those. They're all shut down now because they have fixed up the water systems and everything. But yes, that was cool to see and learn about there. This was an old palace, I believe they referred to it
the
as.
spiral staircase. Is really pretty.
So we got to see a lot of stuff. This was the one where the tour was very informative. It wasn't the most exciting tour,
Yeah,
but it was
I
very
would
informative.
say there are probably better tours to do in Venice than this one. But the nice thing about this one is that it came with tickets for a gondola ride.
This is true.
And the gondola rides in Venice can get very expensive. So if you can book a tour where you get to kind of see some of the city and then it comes with that gondola ride ticket, it's probably a better deal than if you were just to do the gondola rides. Because if you want to rent your own gondola for a 30-minute ride around the...
like 120 euros?
I think it's like 80.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like 80 euros, but that's still pretty steep for a 30-minute little go ride. So I would say if you can book a tour in conjunction with that, it's probably more worth your money.
For anyone who's on Celebrity Watch, this is where George Clooney got married. Right here. Our tour guide was very excited to tell us this, and to which we were like, oh, okay, cool.
I can't believe we remember that. I didn't remember that.
I knew someone would want to know at some point, and yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah, I love that. The tour guide took a lot of photos for us there as well, and none of them really turned out very well. So we just kept the selfies. Oh, that was one thing. There's like no grass anywhere in Florence or Venice. So that's why we took that photo. There are dogs everywhere when they have to pee and poop on the street because there's just no grass anywhere.
The other thing about Venice is that there are no cars.
Yes.
Because
Can I pause for one sec?
Yeah,
Because
for
this is
sure.
the only shot of this. As you can see, the shoe up here, this means that there was, in not ancient times, but centuries ago, shoemakers would work here. And this is how you knew. This was like their version of street signs centuries ago. That's how they did that there. So, sorry, that was just a really cool one. It's cool. It's because Donnie looks like a young George Clooney. Felicia, you're too sweet. Thank you very much. He wishes. I'm kidding. Oh yeah, this is part of the tour where she was talking about how it used to be very colorful, but it's all salt water that comes through Venice from the beaches, the oceans that are right there. So everything erodes there. It used to be very colorful, like we'll see shortly in Burano. How it's all colorful there, I don't know.
I'm sure they repainted in Verona.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, so as you can see, some spots, depending on where they are, completely eroded. Other spots still kind of colorful. Yeah. There's more of the walking tour. Again, a leaning tower. That's not straight at all. That one's leaning.
They
as
need
well.
to learn how to build their towers in Italy. That's
idea.
all I'm saying.
This was a cool spot. I don't think I took a video of this, but actually maybe I did. Yeah. Venice was invaded. I think, was it the Netherlands or Austria? I can't remember what country
I don't
it was.
remember this at
But
all.
these are cannons that were actually fired into Venice, trying to take back control of Venice for whatever country it was. And they kept them and used them as this thing to remember their history.
I have no
when they
recollection of
became
learning
Italian.
this.
Look, it was a very cold morning. I wish I had been here at that point. This was their big theater.
This is
We
where
were
they
so
do-
bummed we couldn't see a show because it was a Sunday and it was a non-performing Sunday for them. We were so upset because they were doing, was it Othello, Romeo and Juliet or something like
I
that?
can't remember.
But yeah, we were
But
going to
yeah.
see a show there but alas, we didn't.
My face was crazy in that photo. Yeah, this is
This is
the.
fun.
Oh yeah, can you see it in?
I think I've got another one where they actually do it. I'm going to fast forward because we've been gone for a little while here. Thanks for sticking with us, people that are still with
Yes,
us
thank you so much. You 5 people are just lovely friends. I can't believe you're still here.
Here it comes. See, this is why I'm thankful. You can see there, it's actually vegan. They're making the gong, which was really fun.
Yeah, this was built like centuries ago.
Yeah.
That they were able to make that. They made like an animatronic essentially.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like Disney Who.
So this is more of the area of Venice, past the Duomo, getting toward the rivers. I was about to say the canal. Or are the canals like what's on the inside? But this is more the out where the ocean is that we're going to, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right.
Out there. These are the two pillars that you're not allowed to walk through, otherwise it's bad luck.
You're allowed to, but it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
because
wouldn't let
that's
me.
where
I was going
I
to.
wouldn't let you because they said it's bad luck because that's where they used to execute people back in the day.
And wasn't this the thing? This is why you did this. Is
Yeah,
if someone was tried but they couldn't decide whether they were guilty or innocent, the person had to do what you're doing right now without falling.
Yeah, it wasn't that hard. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no.
Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, it's really hard to do." Maybe I'm just like really good at it. I don't know, but it was.
I survived.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's something I'm missing here. Like,
Yeah.
there's got to be another.
You made it
element
look
to
very.
this.
I didn't try it, but you made it look very easy.
It wasn't hard. Yeah, this is just more of Venice near the like pier area. Yeah, it's just like a really beautiful place, but it was also still pretty early in the morning and pretty foggy.
Actually, this is 12:10 in the afternoon.
Just kidding. Not super early.
Sorry.
But this is our gondola ride. This is our gondolier. He spent most of the time yelling conversations between him and the gondolier ahead of us, which was like
Very romantic.
very
Just like
romantic.
we were hoping he was gonna very nicely gently sing something in Italian or something like that, like you'd see in a movie, something like that. But instead,
But no.
I think I've got footage of it as well.
It was beautiful though.
I know I've got it. I've seen it. Where is it?
22.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
very
were just-
romantic.
They were just having conversations. And you know what? If I was rowing a gondola 8 hours a day, I would probably chat with my pals too.
I don't know if you saw this. I can't remember if it was on LinkedIn or Facebook or something. They're advertising for more
Gondoliers.
gondoliers for like 130,000 euros a year.
Honestly, they probably deserve it. The amount of like arm strength you'd have to do this motion all day, every day.
Yeah. And he was very smiley and stuff.
More power to them.
This bridge, we turned the camera off here because this is where, is it the Lover's Kiss or something
The
like
Bridge
that?
of Sighs. No, this is the Bridge of Sighs, I think.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah,
is
yeah, that's
where
right.
prisoners would walk from one like building to another.
It was like death row.
It was like they were going to prison for the rest of their lives, and this was their last view of Venice that they would ever get was
Yeah.
through the window on the Bridge of Sighs. It's a very sad story. For some reason, there's this thing that if you kiss as you go under the Bridge of Sighs, you'll like stay with your true love forever. I'm not really sure what the connection is between those stories, but that's the lore. So we did.
So I'm stuck now. Yay.
Deal with it.
Rings. We're kind of already in that situation. Yay.
Can't hurt for some extra
Right,
extra
just
relationship
extra-
insurance. You can't get rid of me. We kissed under the Bridge of Sighs.
I fell asleep on the ship.
Yeah, he
On
fell
the
asleep
little
on the boat. It was supposed to be like a 20-minute boat ride. I think it was more like 40,
I think it was over an hour, wasn't it?
maybe.
It took a while.
I think we accidentally got on the wrong boat.
Yeah,
We
I
were
think
trying
we
to get on the express boat and we got on a slower one. But we made it to Burano.
This is an island just off Venice. So technically Venice has got like 3 different islands, which I didn't know about, but this is one of them. And it's very pretty, very colorful. And we really like, this is the kind of place I'd love to come for a weekend, just for like, we're not really doing anything. We're going to just hit up a couple of restaurants and chill.
Yeah.
It was really cute.
Burano was really adorable, really charming. Lots of very cute shops. And this restaurant had my favorite meal of the entire trip.
Not
Let's
this,
see.
not the little bread pieces here,
The
but
bread was good though. It wasn't bad. I really liked the wine that we had here.
we had the little calamari.
Okay, these were like mini shrimps
Yeah.
and they tasted good, but I really had to train my brain to stop thinking how much they looked like mealworms.
Yeah, which I don't know what those are, so that wasn't a problem for me. Here we go. So they recommended, because it's more kind of like a family restaurant, they recommended a couple of things for us. I got the crab, I think, pasta, which they said was fairly plain, and it was. And then Amanda got the seafood lasagna.
It was incredible.
Seafood lasagna, to me, I imagine the texture is not going to be great because it's seafood. That seems weird. That was so good. Here's a better shot of it. I think we took a video of this. Hold on.
The world needs to see how drunk Amanda is right now.
So listen,
Wait, hold on.
we got a bottle of
hear
wine.
this. And I mean, it's the same.
Don't pretend like you're not drunk too. What is that? What was that hand gesture?
So we were doing very well at this point. We're doing very well. I'll fast forward a little bit. And as you can see, I'm fine. I'm not drunk at all.
It's all in the eyes.
We have to save some wine for the lasagna.
We have to save some wine for the lasagna.
We have to save some lasagna for the wine.
That's how drunk Amanda is. She doesn't even know what she's hearing.
Lasagna yet.
No, you said it.
Just so you know.
You said the right thing. You're still so drunk.
We ordered a second lasagna.
Yeah, we
We
did.
both had our names, and the lasagna was so good we ordered another.
Yeah, they came to us asking if we wanted some dessert, and we said no. Give us another
Give us
lasagna.
more
please."
lasagna. And I said, Donnie, you could have this tiny piece of lasagna.
Which would have been rude, but you did.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yeah. You
No,
took.
because I ordered the lasagna initially, so I let him.
Sorry, I
pick
just
the
played it
piece.
again because I got so excited. What is this one now?
They're playing Christmas music. I heard them play Jingle Bells, and then I ordered 2 lasagnas. I am more sane than you.
Me?
No, anyone watching this.
I'm falling apart there. But yeah, we took a photo of the card. Definitely, if you get a chance, go to Burano. It's fun. This is the spot, Trattoria da Primo. Go there. Hopefully they've got the seafood lasagna because their menu changes like every day or two.
Yes, Felicia, I know. The other pasta looked better, but the seafood lasagna,
Oh, I killed it.
it was so
It was
good.
honestly like I would have gladly just said, you know what, take this back. Give me that lasagna, please. We'll take another one. It was not even
Delicious.
a comparison. Didn't come close. Lasagna destroyed it.
But
It
yeah,
was
this
so
is
good.
Burano. It's super charming, super cute. All of the buildings are really colorful. We bought some Christmas ornaments there that are really pretty.
Mhm.
We went to this little store to
This
look
is
at.
the store that we bought them from, but I think we only took videos of the children's wear area.
So we were shopping for our niece.
But this is where we bought Christmas ornaments from, which we're very happy with, and we looked pretty good in that photo. We were still pretty drunk. There we go. Again, Leaning Tower.
Leaning Towers.
They're everywhere all over Italy. No one knows how to build a tower in Italy. It's crazy. There you go. Amanda
We can
loves
go through these a
Burano.
little faster.
Yeah.
Just there's a lot of
Little
repeating.
photo shoot. Across the sea. Yeah, this is like 5 o'clock. Just after 5 o'clock at night. Yeah, I was so drunk I forgot to take a video of the front of the restaurant that we were at, but of course it was
Yeah.
pink.
Trattoria di Primo.
Definitely
Eat
go there.
there. And the lasagna was a special, so they might not have it when you go.
I love this photo,
But-
by the way.
Thanks, it's cute, isn't it? They might not have the lasagna when you go, but just take your waiter's recommendations. He was so tired.
You posted oh, that's right. When Donnie realizes that we just spent 120 euros on Christmas ornaments or something like that, and then you posted that. That got a lot of love on Insta, if I recall. But then we went back. And then,
More videos
oh, this
of
is
the
a different.
Duomo.
Yeah, this was to the side of the Duomo that we hadn't seen. Like, oh, this kind of came out of nowhere. We'll speed up a little bit. 'cause we
Yeah,
still
this
got-
video is getting really long, and we
Yeah,
still have
it
a lot
is.
to cover.
So
We've been on here
go
for 2
through.
hours.
Yeah, Christmas tree.
Venice was one of the only places that we went that actually had their Christmas decorations up. I will say, if you are a big Christmas fan and you want to see some Christmas decorations, wait till late November
Here's
or
why.
early December
Look at
to
all
go
this
to Italy
Christmas-
because they'll be setting up for Christmas, but they won't be
Why?
fully set up. And we actually ended up
Find the lights
in
on.
Como just
been
a
here
couple
2
of
days,
days
no
before their
lights.
Christmas market opened, and then we were leaving. So
They're all ready. They're all
we
over the sea.
missed all of the
Everywhere.
really
Look at
Christmas
this.
festivities
Ah,
when we were
Check
there.
this out.
So now that we're 2 hours into this video and we titled it Italy
Giant
in
Christmas trees there
November,
with these lights.
here's some advice for going to Italy in
So you know what we're
November.
gonna do instead?
Go in late November if you care about Christmas, because then the lights will
Expensive
actually
hot
turn
chocolate.
on.
It's stupid.
This is, as you can see, November 17th. Still, everything's decorated, but nothing is on yet because they won't do it until like the 25th or something like that. I don't know exactly what the date is. But we went back to that same place. So yeah, there's your November in Italy. Real great insight. We got some extra desserts at the same place. Literally, we're sitting here looking at this. This looks so
Same
good.
thing, but
This was such a mistake. We could have gone anywhere else and spent like 50 euros
This
less.
place is expensive. If you're gonna go to Cafe Florian, you're gonna drop some money. Like
Yeah,
that's
no
that's how it's gonna be. You should go once.
That reminded me of Haunting of Venice. That may have been
yeah.
the place, but yeah.
I wouldn't recommend going more than
Here it
once.
is.
Oh yeah. Donnie, after we got drunk and spent 100 euros on Christmas ornaments in Burano
I got a lot of love on socials.
because it was funny.
Cece even liked it, apparently. Oh, this is us. So Venice we only did for 2 nights. So this is us on the way.
I would recommend 3. If
Yeah,
you can,
I'd say so.
I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
recommend an extra night in Venice.
Mhm.
However, I would not give up a single night that we spent in Florence.
Yeah, this is true. I think recommend 3 specifically if you're planning on going to Burano, which we
Yes.
would recommend. So therefore, do 3. We got to hit up Verona, which was not planned, but we had, instead of staying in Venice for the whole day, then going to Milan or vice versa, we saw that Verona was on the way.
Verona, what are you doing out here?
Amanda did not get that 10 things
I
I hate
did
about
not.
you
I
reference.
did not
at
understand
all.
that reference.
I've been
What is
really
this?
excited to go to Verona for a long time. I don't know what that thing was. I'd always been excited to go to Verona for the fact of the name and like Romeo and Juliet and Tempted to Hate About You. So Taming of the Shrew, things like that. But also knowing that Juliet's balcony was there and yeah, Mum and my sister Mariah loves the Letters to Juliet movie. We actually watched it over the holidays last year leading up to this trip. So yeah, very excited to go there. And Verona ended up being, I mean, it shouldn't be too surprising. Verona was sweet. I would gladly spend 2 nights in Verona.
Yeah.
It was cute. A lot of great restaurants that we saw there. We felt like we had to rush it a bit. It would have been nice just to hang out there and take all of this in. That's their Colosseum, which is built in the same way as the Roman Colosseum, where they've got the layers here. As you can see, they build it out in layers that way. I like that shot.
Donnie
so
doesn't
this
like
is
getting
like-
his picture taken as much as I like getting my picture taken. An imbalance of photos of me versus
the model,
Donnie.
yeah. But this is one, just seeing this like, and it's just all the hills back there, and obviously camera can only see so much with the naked eye. It's just such fun views all over the place. There's Juliet's balcony right there. We didn't have the greatest experience because obviously Juliet's supposed to be what, like 14, 16 years old.
Yeah.
And
Well,
everyone
also, first of all, we were there on a Sunday, and so the museum was closed.
yeah, that was a bit
So
of a
we
bummer.
couldn't actually go inside and stand on the balcony. But the other thing that was weird about this was that there's a tradition that if you touch Juliet's boob and take a picture, it's supposed to be like good luck. It weirded me out. I didn't like it because Juliet in the story is supposed to be like 14 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
It felt creepy to me. Lots of like grown men groping this statue of a teenage girl. I was like,
Weird.
this is weird.
And like I'll take the like it's a cultural experience, whatever. That one just felt a little weird, so we didn't do it. But instead,
We took
We-
a picture.
we took a photo
We did not
in our own
grope
way.
Juliet.
we went to this place. We were chatting with my sister at this time for little Freya because Freya's middle name is Juliet. So we were
Yes.
very excited to check this out for her. So the lady was showing us her skills and printed off this Amanda thing with stitching. So then we decided we would get a little bag made up for Juliet, for Freya.
For Freya Juliet.
At Juliet's balcony. And I'll fast forward through this, but as you can see, they just do it all hand sewn
Freehand.
right
Yeah.
there. It's crazy. They just, no practice, nothing. Amanda just writes the, you can't see it. Amanda just writes the name, what she wants there, and they just do it on the backpack, just like that. So we have that. We're getting ready to take it to Australia for Freya's christening in just under 6 months now. That's what the outside of it looks like. So you wouldn't even, unless you knew where you were going, you wouldn't even know really what's in there. But yeah, this kind of market area kind of felt like a downtown market of Verona. It was just a really sweet spot. Lots of fun things. Got some chocolate-covered strawberries, which was delicious. Yeah, that's everywhere, so we don't need to do much. But Amanda's been
What happened?
Okay, here's the thing though. Italy,
I caught you on
you
camera.
don't see fruit like anywhere
Yeah, that's true.
There's not a
actually.
lot of
Yeah.
in Italy. So I was just really excited to eat fruit. But what you do see is a lot of wiener dogs.
Yes. What are they called?
Dachshunds.
Dachshunds. They are everywhere. That's honestly, that might be my kind of Achilles heel. Amanda definitely wants a second dog, but we travel so much. It's like we really shouldn't get another dog. But if it's a dachshund, I'm in trouble because I love dachshunds. They're so cute.
Johnny loves little sausage dogs.
Everywhere.
They're all over
Everywhere
Italy.
in Italy.
Everybody in Italy has a sausage dog.
They're absolutely the national dog.
They're so cute.
As you can see, more Christmas lights that are just not turned on. I know
Yeah.
it's daytime, but it was, yeah. Amanda did a little bit of shoe shopping. She didn't actually buy anything. This restaurant we also found, so we got a bit of a discount on fork, so that wasn't too bad. The food,
It was fine.
the vibe was cool. The food was a bit the service, I remember being like this. I think it was a mother and a son, and the son seemed just annoyed that we were there, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Verona is like, it's still like a tourist stop, but it's less of a tourist stop than some of the other places. So I wonder if just like, there's like a little bit less friendliness towards tourists there,
Yeah.
maybe. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I
you
could
can
be
see,
wrong.
like-
He could have just been having a bad day.
but you can see all the history like right under they built over the top of it. So again, it's very much got the layer feel to it.
The lasagna.
Now, Felicia, if you're still watching, you're going to enjoy this. So this is just a random shop that we walked past. This has the best collection of Harry Potter stuff I've ever seen in my
Yeah,
life.
it
And
was
I'm
pretty
including
cool.
Universal Studios Orlando in this.
Yeah, this was better than Universal.
This video doesn't do it justice. The amount of detail everywhere, like it looks like there's some stuff back there. There's so many things all over the place, like Letterman jackets in all the houses and stuff. This has got nothing to do with Italy, but this place
We just
was
stumbled upon
phenomenal.
this little place and it was so fun and so cute. They like put so much effort into this little Harry
Crazy.
Potter section. You could just see all of the like love that went into this area. And I have my qualms with the Harry Potter.
J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was cool. This
Yeah.
was a cool little shop.
Mhm. Amanda had a good time. And she was looking at the little Hedwig bag, which is cute, or the Hufflepuff. Really cool stuff.
Ravenclaw.
So, sorry, Ravenclaw. Yeah, not a Hufflepuff. But yeah, so this side of the store was just anything to do with comics and all that stuff.
Kind of like a Hot Topic.
Yeah, exactly. But this was the Harry Potter side from here. It had its own section. And then you'll even see over here, they had... I can't
Albus
remember his-
Dumbledore up the top.
Yeah. Ghostly. Kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean version.
Mhm.
Yeah, more stuff in the window. But then even characters from the movie, actors from the movie, go and do some autographs there and stuff. So apparently it's a big deal. So yeah. If you're a Harry Potter fan or any kind of comic fan or whatever, you find yourself in Verona, definitely check that out. It is a cool spot. But then we came across. Did you find this one that you wanted to go check this out? Is that what it was?
I can't remember what this is.
This is the bridge.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I did. I was like looking up things on Pinterest, I think, and I found this bridge. What was it called?
Città Antica. Is that right? Yeah, pretty
Castelvecchio.
Oh, yeah. Almost.
Yeah, Castelvecchio. It was a really
Good
beautiful bridge with some really gorgeous views. We got to walk up some of these like little stair areas to sit higher up. Donnie was a little bit braver about it than I was. I did go up, but I didn't sit up at the top like he did because I was nervous. But
So
yeah.
she started down there, but then she worked her way up, and she ended up going all the way up.
Yeah, I
And
just
she enjoyed it. She was a little scared, but
I struggle with heights a little
She didn't
bit.
want to sit up there. And honestly, with that long jacket, it was probably a good thing that you didn't jump back up.
Yeah,
because
no.
you
I
never
just
know what it
like
is.
one slip backwards and I was gonna be in the river and I did not want that.
But it was a fun time. It was a really fun little, lots of pretty views. Honestly, it kind of
Great
reminded me of Minneapolis and the
Yeah.
river. It's not Mississippi,
The Stone Arch Bridge.
yeah. What
Yeah.
river is that?
I don't know. It's the Stone Arch Bridge.
Yeah, so it reminded me of that, which is sweet.
But yeah, definitely worth seeing. A really cute spot. Iconic in Verona.
And then we caught the train to Milan. And my goodness, Morena, our friend at Union Depot, I can't remember if you had
Step one.
said you had been to Milan. This train station,
Wild.
holy crap, this place is humongous. Like, this video does not do justice to how ginormous this place is. Like, this is, zoomed in, and it's, incredible. If you get a chance to check out the train station in Milan, check it out. It's incredible.
Yeah, wild.
Look at, it's ginormous. That's the front of it right there. That's just a giant hotel and the train station is just the same size. Crazy.
I was so tired.
Yeah. So Amanda was so tired. I was horribly sick at this point. We just needed to get to the hotel. I think this is the night where we went in.
I did not
We
want
got
to
room
watch.
service.
Yeah,
you
this
didn't-
was okay. Here's a tip. If you have a 15-night trip in Italy and it's day 11 and you're going to Milan, get yourself a more contemporary, like regular hotel
which we did.
with
and my goodness.
amenities.
Yeah.
Because after staying in these kind of scrappy, like old, very classic style hotels in Italy, the fact that we could take a shower with good water pressure and order room service,
We needed it. We needed
we
it so
needed
bad.
it so bad, and our bed was so comfortable.
This is a giant little. It was a pizza, like at the train station pizza thing, like this
It was
big.
like €2.
Yeah, €2. It was like, it didn't taste the best thing ever. As you can
Okay,
see, like,
please fast forward. My face is terrible in that.
so is mine actually. But this is right. So that was the
Exotic
Duomo
shopping.
we were just in front of, and this is their
And this thing?
incredible Milan shopping district.
This
right
is
by
the
what's it called?
Galleria Emanuele,
Yeah, first try.
I think.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
This is essentially a luxury shopping area.
Yeah.
In Milan. So think like Louis Vuitton, think Prada, think Hermes, think like the most expensive
Yeah,
brands.
Prada on that corner.
There were 2 Pradas.
Louis Vuitton, Prada.
Another
again.
Prada. I think they had Prada
And
men's
Dior.
and Prada
Yeah.
women's on those corners. But yeah, very fancy shops. Definitely fun to take a look around, take a stroll. It's beautiful inside.
Can you guess? Amanda did some shopping here. Ooh, what did she buy? She did buy something. Any ideas? Don't spoil it yet. Don't spoil it yet. Amanda's family will know what she bought. She found the only library,
I found
the only
bookstores.
bookstore, and she went and bought some books.
I did not buy that sweater because it was wool and I'm allergic to wool.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
And it
Because
was-
it looked good.
The funny thing was that I tried on this sweater and the saleswoman was like, it looks so good. And I was like, yeah, but I'm allergic to wool. She took the sweater back and she was like, okay, bye. She was like, there's nothing here for you.
You didn't get this sweater. I really
didn't.
like this sweater.
I liked it too, but
pink one was
it was
cute. I
expensive
really liked the blue
though. And I
one.
was like,
I was bummed. I really
Yeah.
liked that one. Maybe next time.
maybe next time.
Yeah, so
like
at
right
this
now.
point, I had COVID and I had no idea I had COVID. I was just battling because the night before we got that room service, I think at one point I was literally just like, you were holding me and I was just shivering.
Yeah, I was worried
it
about you.
hit me bad.
I was nervous.
I somehow rallied the next day and like I wasn't great, but I battled through. But that night, I'm glad we didn't do anything that night. We made the right choice and just took room
Yeah.
service and chill because it was bad.
Yeah, I was proud of you though because you really rallied
I did.
the next day to get to Como, which
Do you remember this restaurant?
no.
We found this restaurant and saw the reviews and everything.
Oh
We're
my
like,
God,
oh, this
that's
is so
right.
great. And then we went in. We stood there for like 3 minutes while no one came to serve us. And then they came up like, you have a reservation? No, we don't. Okay, goodbye. Like, what?
We did not eat
We've been here for so long. And we were starving at this point.
We
We're like,
were
please just
so
feed us.
hungry.
And we selected this restaurant after looking at all the reviews and everything, like we've done the right thing. But then we found this place, and this actually ended up being really nice.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, enjoyed this.
But yeah, we were so...
That guy reminds us of Luke Steinborn, our friend.
Yeah, he looks
Luke,
like
if
Luke.
you ever watch this, kind of reminded us of you. So that's why we took that photo.
We never sent it to you.
No, we didn't. Luke, you've never
Here's
seen it. But
An
yeah.
arancini ball on top of some hay.
I think they just gave that to us, which is why we're like, yeah. But this is
Risotto.
Milan
With saffron?
risotto. Yeah, saffron risotto, which is a Milano thing. And then you got, was it pork kind of?
I think it was rabbit.
Oh, that's right. It was too. And you didn't mind it, right?
It was good.
I think it was the
Lemon sorbet.
yes, and then that was so
Yeah.
that I definitely pretended like that helped. And that was more easy. Oh, that's
This
right.
was on the way to Como.
As you can see, we're taking the train ride all the way up to Como. Oh, this was so annoying because it was so foggy outside. There were such cool views of the forest. And I just could not get a good shot of anything. I think at one point Amanda laughs at me during these videos because every time I turned it on,
we would go through a bridge.
Or it would just be
Or a tunnel.
because there was no trees right there. And then I turned on the camera, and then
That's
it was
right.
just trees and you couldn't
That's
see
what it
anything.
was.
I think it's this one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's her laughing at me. So there's that. Yippee. But then it got nice.
Yeah.
It's just so mountainous and beautiful out
Como
there.
is gorgeous. I wish we could have spent a couple of nights in Como.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It's just like a really lovely place to be. Yeah, I mean, these views kind of speak for themselves. We just took a day trip from Milan. We got on the train at like 8:30 in the morning, I think.
Oh, here's a hot tip for you if you visit. If the train says it's leaving at 8:30, you better believe that the second it hits 8:30, that train is gone. Do not think like it's okay if I'm a minute late. That train's already left. You need to be on.
You got to be on
early.
time for your trains in Italy.
There's good breakfast we had. Yeah, seriously, especially in Milan. The Milan train station waits for no one. It doesn't matter if you got a ticket and you're late, whatever. If it leaves at 8:30, if you're not on at 8:29, good luck.
Yeah, I mean, they don't check your tickets on the trains in Italy until after the train has already departed.
Yeah.
So don't count on them waiting for you just because you have a ticket, because they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know until they've already left. But yeah,
We saw people missing trains.
Como was absolutely gorgeous.
We
I
never
mean,
missed a train.
we didn't.
We did
I'm
well.
very proud of us.
Yeah, we did well.
Okay.
That last day, especially.
Yeah, I was nervous. Como, just absolutely beautiful. Go to Como for a day. If you're going to be
Definitely.
in Milan, take the day trip to Como. It is so worth it. The views are just spectacular. We took this little, I can't remember what it's called,
Cable car.
cable car up to like the top
Brunate.
of one of these mountains to a little town called Brunate.
Mhm. I don't know why that's the only thing I remember on this trip as far as names go is that Brunate. And that's
But
it.
yeah,
That's all I
while
got.
you're going up on the cable car, you get these spectacular views. And then when you get to the top, the views are even better.
Oh, yeah.
You can see the Swiss Alps in the background
Back there. We'll get more.
from
but-
this vantage point. It's just the like distance that you can see from this vantage point. It's just stunning. It's I don't know. I said that I think I have to take it back. I said that the vineyard was the most beautiful place we saw on the trip.
This is up there.
I think this is maybe the most beautiful place we saw on the trip.
Here's the thing. It doesn't come to mind right away because we only stayed up here for a total of about 20 minutes because
it was so cold.
so windy
We were
and cold.
so cold.
It was like if you're from the Midwest and you know, like, oh, it wasn't so bad if it wasn't for that wind chill. This place had the wind chill, let me tell you. It was freezing up
It was
there.
very cold up in Brunate.
Yeah.
Um,
Which ended up being, we didn't think of it at the time, but it wasn't just up in Brunate. It was a sign of things to come in Como, which you will see shortly when we get to, once
Yeah.
nighttime came in Como, how windy it got. But
yeah, it got very windy in
the
Como.
Swiss Alps. It was This was beautiful.
Yeah, definitely worth it. I think the cable car was only
And
like
there's that
€6 per
Cable car,
person to get up
Yeah.
to the top and back down.
definitely worth it. And there's like a whole town you can explore up there as well. So we didn't do it because it was too cold and everything was pretty much closed. And then
Oh,
we
there's
saw-
the Rotary Club. I
Yeah.
work for the Rotary Club in St. Paul, so we took a little picture.
it was cute.
I haven't showed it to them. I should have.
Oh, really? You still haven't done that?
Oopsies.
We're gonna
This
go terrible.
bad restaurant.
This was just straight up.
Don't eat at this
Thi-
restaurant.
okay, so that's the only shot of it. It's not only was the service weird and the food was schmeh, they would clap. They didn't get our attention this way, so we didn't realize, but they would clap at people across the street just to get their attention, to wave them down to come on over. It was
That's always a bad sign.
Yeah.
If there are people outside like shouting at tourists saying, "Come in here, come eat here," bad sign.
and that's a direct quote from our tour guide in Florence, right?
Yeah.
Where she was saying, if you ever see the food, like pictures of the food on a sign at the front of the restaurant, or you see people saying, "Come on here, it's really good," those are the two signs. Avoid, do not go there. Those are not local places, because the locals would just not do that.
Yeah.
I tried on another leather jacket. I liked it. This one I was very interested in, but I didn't do it. It was too much. It's just too much.
Yeah, not quite your style.
Nah, not quite. I think you might be able to start seeing. This is on top of the place we're shopping. You can hear the wind coming through. Even at this point, we still didn't realize what was coming.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it's just a little windy. But it was definitely way worse up there in Brunate, so this is fine. But then we found this shop, and I actually bought this one.
You
And
did.
I'm kind of regretting that I didn't buy these shoes. They weren't that comfortable as far as like the sole goes, but I should have just bought them because
I think you made the right choice.
But then we found this boutique with secondhand extreme goods, or
Like
whatever.
designer goods.
Like this thing's supposed to be €1,000 or something, and I
Yeah.
think it was on sale for like
300 something.
something like that. So I was never buying it, but I had to try it on for fun. Another leather jacket. This one, this
That's
was
Burberry.
for my family back home. I think this was like €90. I was very close to buying this Burberry vest, but I don't wear vests, so I didn't do it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But I was very tempted, literally just for I'm not going to tell anyone, and I'm going to fly home to Australia in June, and I'm just going to wear it off the plane, and my mum's going to freak. But I didn't end up. It's fine. We spent a lot of money on this trip.
Yeah, we did. We did.
There's a little church while we were there, and then Amanda did some
I
shopping.
finally found this store. Okay, so I was
Oh,
having
this is
such a hard time in Italy in general finding sweaters because
Right.
I'm allergic to wool and cashmere. And every store I would go in, they would just be like,
Here's
sorry,
a tip. If
we
you're
don't have
coming in
anything
November,
for you. And
don't
finally,
leave on the
this store with that red sweater pulled every single sweater that they had that had no wool and no cashmere in it and let me try them on, and they were so sweet. I can't remember the name of the store.
We'll figure it out.
Max something.
Oh, Max Mara.
Was it Max Mara?
Yeah, because I kept teasing it, thinking of Mos Mordre and the
Yeah.
game that we play. Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Nerds.
They
Never
were
mind, don't worry
so
about it.
sweet and so wonderful, and I was so grateful to them. I did buy that red sweater and a blue one, as well as a hot pink coat, which is coming up later in this slideshow. I loved that store.
It worked out very well. So two things here. One, this is Freya. If you ever get a chance to watch this is your christening present. The evil eye and the pepper, those are both symbols of keeping evil spirits away in Italian and Greek culture. And because you're half Italian, half Cypriot, so close enough to Greek, love heart, Freya. That is your christening present. Everyone else gets to see it before you do, haha, because I don't think you're on YouTube yet.
And you're a baby.
Yeah,
So.
so there's that. But here is the best advice we can give.
Here's a tip. If you're coming in November, don't leave on the 22nd when the
And I got so mad that I turned off the video. Don't leave on the 22nd when Christmas markets start on the 23rd of November. They were all ready for us to go, all the lights around the city and everything. Nothing was turned on because it opened the very next day. But then the wind from Brunate finally came down. And this was our experience walking to try to find a restaurant because we were starving before we went to the train back to
It was so windy.
come to Lake Como in November. It'll be fun, they said.
This this was like, it looks bad, but it was worse. Like Amanda almost lost that bag. It was
very windy.
very bad.
This restaurant was okay.
This was good. Like
It was pretty decent.
I remember this being like, you know what, this is actually good, but it was so cramped because there was no
Yes.
gap between the tables at all.
The table,
There was like
yeah.
one long couch at the back. You know, the cushion seats, and then you have the red seat in front, and you have the gap so you can get between the tables. And they were just like, nah, we're not doing that. And there was just no way for Amanda to get out. It was crazy. These are all licorice treats. If you like licorice, you'll enjoy it. But this is the outside of the restaurant. I don't think this is the name
I'm
of
so
it,
sorry. I'm so sorry, YouTube.
Oh, there it is. Mediterranean.
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean Bistro di Mare
Pizza.
Pizza. Yep, that's that one. So if you go there, check it out. It's nice.
There's a statue of a hand.
Yeah.
That was the coat I
There's that
bought.
picture. This is the full fashion show that we had in the room.
The hotel room.
Yeah.
I love my coat.
There were more photos. We got rid of that. This hotel was very interesting. It was just a house
Yeah.
or an apartment building, I guess. I don't know what it
Vertical
was.
forest kind of thing.
This walking tour was really, it was very informative, but also really fun for some reason.
Mhm.
I don't know how she did it. It felt like a lecture the entire time.
Oh wow!
But it
Look
was
at that
great.
pink coat.
But before that, we had to admire the coat more.
Yeah, that one.
That was important to me. And there was a doggy there.
Lots
Oh,
of
wow.
dogs. Dogs all over Italy.
Yeah.
Dogs are welcome to go into shops and restaurants and department stores, everything.
If
Dogs
you're
can go
looking for
anywhere.
a destination in Europe where you can bring your dog, Italy. Italy's the one. We saw a Pomeranian in Louis Vuitton.
Yep.
Just like hanging out with their owner.
And
while
not
they
a
were
classy
shopping.
Pomeranian either.
Like,
It's a little
just-
bit roughed up.
Like there are dogs everywhere. Dogs are welcome in like most restaurants,
Mhm.
and like just bring your dog to Italy.
Yeah.
I kind of wish we'd brought Cece.
Yeah, me too. But
She would have hated it though.
Too many
She would have
steps for
hated
such
it.
a tiny chihuahua. This place was really cool. I don't remember much about Castello Sforzesco.
Sforzesco.
Sure. I would recommend seeing it though. It was really cool to see a lot of history in there, and our tour guide was great, explaining everything to us. Then she took us to this church, which had a lot of beautiful pictures and
Yes.
stuff. This
They
was
call
really
it-
interesting though.
They call it the Sistine Chapel of Milan.
That's right. Yes.
Mhm.
Kind of an interesting story behind it, aside from just looking at all the artwork and everything. It's got two halves. So that was the front side of it. Then the back side is where the nuns used to live.
Yeah, it was like
And-
a convent.
Yeah. And the tour guide was talking to us about how this wall never used to be here. But then they eventually had a pope or a priest or something that was known as, what was his nickname? He was the conservative, not conservative in terms of
He
like
was very
political,
strict.
but
He was very
Yeah.
strict, and he cloistered the nuns in this back area. So essentially, they were never allowed outside. And then he eventually built that wall so that they couldn't even see the other half of the church or see outdoors. It was like it's a
it
very
was actually very sad.
kind of
yeah.
sad story, actually.
But yeah, I don't know why I was very just engaged with that whole story.
Yeah.
I was. I
It's
felt
definitely interesting. And then our tour guide did a tarot reading.
yeah,
for
not
us.
not a full tarot reading or anything, but because she doesn't do those, but she bought some authentic Milano tarot cards, and she just got us to draw one each, and then she showed us the meaning of the ones that we drew, which
They were very accurate, actually.
yeah, I was actually kind of happy with mine. I'm not really into tarot and any of that stuff very much at all. But I actually liked mine.
I was the sun. I
Yeah.
was the sun. The sun symbolizes the light, the triumph. Touching the highest levels of personal evolution, your presence enlightens, brings joy, emits vitality, and elevates others with positivity. Sounds
happy
right.
with that. I was the
The Hierophant?
Hierophant. The Hierophant symbolizes the search for deeper meaning. It encourages seeking spiritual guidance, embracing rituals, and honoring past teachings while finding your own path towards spiritual evolution, which I kind of liked, especially considering we've been doing Greece and Turkey and Italy.
Mhm.
It felt very that, where I was like, I don't love everything that I'm seeing. I kind of want to find my own way forward and stuff. So it was interesting. I enjoyed that. And this is our tour guide. She was very sweet. And yeah, again, very knowledgeable. Not the funniest person in the world or anything, but she was just really informative in a very engaging way.
Yeah, she was a really good tour guide.
And then she took us to this other church, which is the one, the story of the guy who the bleeding. What is it? Jesus bled from the eye, or something like that. The
I
painting.
don't remember this at all.
There's a story about a painting where Jesus
Oh.
bled from his eyes, or something that a guy talked about. This is the church. This is where it happened.
Yeah, he like stabbed a painting.
And then it started
And then
bleeding
it
or
started-
something
yeah,
like that.
I don't remember.
And
exactly.
even she was saying like, it seems like it's probably not a real thing, but this is where it happened. But then Amanda was like, well, in this beautiful coat, I have to go take a photo shoot with the Duomo,
Yeah.
which you can't really see the Duomo side of this, but this cathedral was really cool. This was almost, it felt to me closer to the Venetian style
Mhm.
of Duomo, but it's a little bit different again.
We're almost to the end here.
Yeah,
For
we're
the
close
3
now.
people who are still with us.
Thank you.
My goodness, I can't believe you are still here, but thank you.
So opposite this, like back this way somewhere, we just found this tent thing and we went in not knowing what it was. I ended up buying this jacket for a heavy discount. This is supposed to be like 600 euros. I think I got it for like 100. So I was very happy
Yeah.
with that. And then I found this one, exactly the same deal. So for like 200 euros, I walked away with 2 proper leather jackets.
Yeah.
I was very happy. Amanda got this one as well.
Yeah, little guest hoodie.
Did you get this one?
I did.
You did get that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was basically a little charity market.
Yeah.
So designers kind of donated a bunch of goods to this market. They sold it at a discounted price, and all of the proceeds went to this charity.
So if you're in Milan, November 21st-ish, definitely look out for that if it's in front of the Duomo and they do it again, because I
Good
was
deals, good
very
deals.
happy. I was hoping I'd find something leather and I was expecting to pay over $300-400 for it. And I got 2 for half of that price, and they are great.
Definitely
I
a
love
great deal.
what I got. So this was the tent that we were talking about there. That was the one directly opposite the Duomo. And that's where we found, we didn't know what it was. We had no idea. We had seen like some wine or something like that in there. So we just went and checked it out for fun.
Yeah, because they also had, besides clothes, they also had like wines and cheeses and things like that as well. They had more than just the clothes there.
And we found this restaurant, Marino.
Marino?
My last name is Marino. So we found Marino, and this is Marino, the owner as well. So we kind of bonded on our names. And then we ate there, and yeah, the food was actually good. We enjoyed this. I did promise him we'd do a review. I never did one. Did you do one by any chance? No. I think we owe him one. No,
Yeah,
maybe?
we do.
The lasagna was pretty good. Amanda got
Yeah.
the saffron risotto Milan style
was
this time. The food was good. I'd recommend it. And this was like basically at that the designer place that we showed you right next to the Duomo with all the shopping and stuff. It's right there.
Vittorio Emanuele.
Yeah, so we expected this to be another tourist trap kind of a restaurant, like the
It was
rest of them
pretty good,
around
though.
there. But we enjoyed this one actually. This is a good restaurant.
Yeah, it was good.
If you're going in there with the expectation of I'm looking for a decent to, like I'm going to be happy with this meal, this is a good spot. If
Yeah.
you're looking for the best meal you've ever had, that's not what this place is. But for a solid meal, yes.
Yeah, it was good.
And then I was very excited to go finally to going to Italy, get to a soccer stadium. Had a little fun with this video, as you can see, right in front of the train. And I don't know who's driving. Because right now I'm the furthest forward on the train, so I don't know who's driving right now.
You're such a nerd.
Yeah, I know, it was fun. But this is the San Siro Stadium. This is where AC and Inter Milan both play. So I was very excited to see this. I'd seen games at this stadium on television from when I was young. I didn't even really follow Italian football, but a little bit. But Manchester United have played there. And if anyone knows me, you know I'm a massive fan of Manchester United, and I hate Liverpool. As you can tell, that probably shouldn't have made the video, but that's all right.
You naughty.
Amanda did a cute little video for me where like interviewing me like a player. But we got to go into the change rooms, which I must say, considering AC Milan and Inter Milan are 2 of the biggest teams in Italy and therefore the world, change rooms were kind of schmidt, to be honest. Yeah, very underwhelming. This lady who did the tours for us, to be fair, she did them in Italy and in Italian at the
You
same
mean
time.
English and Italian?
Oh, sorry, Italian, English and Italian.
She was not happy to be there.
I could not understand what the hell she was talking about. And
She
I
went
know
very
soccer
quick.
very well. I had no idea what she was saying. Into stands, blah, 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 and flew through. No idea.
It was very quick, and she was very not happy to be there.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. If there's any soccer fans that ever watch this, just know if you like Inter Milan or know any other players of Inter Milan, I thought this was really cool going through here, where you go into the change rooms as a player and they've got these shots of all of them, probably most famous players, the original Ronaldo, Julio Cesar, even more going forward and stuff. That was really cool. As an actual soccer fan, I appreciated that very much.
I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, no. But then Amanda was very sweet and took over the phone right here and let me walk down the tunnel. So this is where the players walk. It's all lit up, LEDs. I pretended
It was very cute watching Donnie here. He was very excited.
Stairs.
Look at his face.
I'm not even a fan of these clubs, and I was so excited. It's the amount of history of soccer that is in this stadium that we're at right now. I picked up the grass like it was real. It's just artificial turf, but still, it's really not the most exciting stadium in the world. It's the seats are schmuck,
your face would say otherwise.
I loved it. It's so cool. Yeah,
that's a good
that's
shot.
the shot. That's the shot. That one made the cover of this video,
It did.
and then I pretended I was a coach. It was fun. I had a really fun time. I was very excited. Breathing in the air and stuff like that. I'll try to fast forward through all of this. This was very much for me, and I very, very much appreciate having a wife/life partner that will let me do stuff like this, but not only that, be happy to let me do this. And
I much
join in
prefer
with
this over going to an actual game.
Yeah, we learned that in Australia. I took Amanda to a football match in Australia. That's a different video altogether. Okay. Now, if you listened to the podcast that came out this week, if you haven't yet, go do it.
Welcome to 10 Corso Como. This is can you pause it for just a second?
We got plenty of footage here.
Yeah, so 10 Corso Como is essentially, I don't even know how to describe it. There's a luxury goods store, there's a restaurant, there's an event space. Anyway, we were there. We go more into detail on this on the podcast, so listen to this episode of Starting Today with Donnie. We stumbled upon this art gallery. This art gallery was it was called Play Adult.
Mm-hmm.
It was a reimagining of Mattel toys and kind of how you might see them as an adult as opposed to as a child. It was very cool. These totems were kind of a commentary on capitalism, and if you look closely at what these drawings say, it kind of tells you what each part of the totem symbolizes. But anyway, we were walking around this gallery having the time of our lives. There's a melting Hot Wheels. There's a little Barbie throne chair. It says
Actually, really,
BRB.
we didn't even talk about this on the podcast, but the fact that Be Right Back, BRB, Barbie, kind of everything was just a fun spin. I actually really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, this place was so cool. It was such a cool art exhibit. This was the Rock'em Love 'em robots. As you can see, there's a little tear falling from their eyes. Because they decided to stop fighting. And now they love each other. It's really sweet. Yeah, there's a little tear.
Yeah, let me zoom in a little bit. You can see
Look at
where the glue is. It's teared up. Just happy that they're Rock'em Love 'em rather than Rock'em Sock 'em, and this is the comic strip dedicated to it as well. And then, so we've got the official videographer for the event.
This was the opening of this art gallery, by the way.
So I'm just filming, I just wanted to film it myself, the footage that you had seen it, and this guy comes up behind me, again. This ended up going for this went for way more.
Yeah.
He got me to film this thing.
5%.
It was actually kind of cool. But yeah, so we are in the recap of this art exhibit.
Most likely.
That we will most certainly not, I mean, my footage definitely is, I think, because he took it so many damn times.
Yeah.
I would hope so. So when he was filming me, this is what I was filming. He's like, yeah, this is good. Hold it for there longer. Hold it longer. Okay, can you zoom in a little bit for me at some point? And you got me to do that 5 times. We were not invited to this.
We were not.
We didn't know we were supposed to be. We didn't know what it was.
We just walked in. Like there was a security guard there, but he was just like, ciao, and he waved us right in. So how were we to know that this was an invite-only event? But we did end up leaving, and as we were walking down the stairs, we walked out a different way than we entered. And as we were walking down the stairs, we saw a very long line leading up to a man with a list, and the man with the list was talking to the first person in line, and he was like, I'm sorry, your name is not on the list, and therefore you cannot go into this fancy art gallery. Meanwhile, Doni and I were exiting this art gallery, fully being like, so we did not know that this was an invite-only situation. Anyway, we had a blast. It was so much fun.
There's a description of it. I can share that maybe at a later point, but into what it's all about. But so at this point, we're in the Barbie section. I mean, you can't really see it. I'm just going to use the mouse. If you go this direction, the artist was like back over this way.
Yeah.
He was right there watching us do our own little photo shoot there. Yeah, it was great. This was
the line.
Yeah, this is it. So they've got the guest list right there, letting people in and turning people away. So I took a quick little
here
video
we were,
of that.
just
These are the stairs that we came down. This is not where we went up. We went up inside the retail store that we were in. That took us back around and up this way to get in. And then we came down these stairs and saw what was happening, and then saw this, like, oh,
oops.
And then we
took a video telling the story.
Yeah, so which you've just heard the story,
Yeah,
so we don't
so
need
we
to
don't
talk
need to
about this,
talk
but it's a fun video. That's for us for later. I love that one. And then we saw more cool stuff in Milan. But yeah, that was our crazy Milan story.
This is our final night in Milan, by the way. So we're coming to the end.
Yes, this is right at the end here. Then Amanda found this restaurant online to go to, and we didn't know it was fully decked out, Christmas stuff everywhere.
It was so cute.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so this
So
is the name.
Ferino.
I would recommend it. The food
It
here
was
was
good.
actually
It was
good.
really good.
Yeah. So I went up, and this is like Amanda's dream to have this kind of a Christmas village set up. So we had to take this. We're on our way. We've got like 5 pieces right now. I think your family donated a couple of Disney pieces as well, which has been lovely to have. So
I love the Christmas village.
and then we got more of the saffron risotto Milano style with lamb shank is what I got.
I think mine was like a butternut squash ravioli. It was so good.
Yeah. I will say by this point I was very much done with saffron risotto. It was like
We only got it the one time though.
Well, I got it once, then you got it once, then I got it again, and we were only in Milan for 3 days, so we
Yeah.
ended up getting like every day. I don't think it's worth getting every day. This dessert was great. I think
that one was really good, wasn't it? I think that one was really good, and then the tiramisu was good.
I didn't get much stuff.
No.
Actually, I remember a big thing being, and this is on the way to the airport. It snowed on our final night there.
Yeah.
So coming back to Minnesota, we're like, oh, great, okay, well, to snow we go apparently. So yeah, this is going to be the airport and the flight home, so we can kind of start to wrap it up a little bit. But what was I going to say? Yeah, in general, what we found, I think, was the food was it the Tuscan region? The
In
food
Florence,
in
yeah.
Florence and in Rome, to be fair. Rome had really good food. I didn't buy those glasses, but I was tempted. Last photo of CC before we took off for our flight back to the United States. The food in Florence and Rome was way, to us, it outdid the food in anywhere else we went in more the northern part of Italy, in Venice, in Verona.
My
in
favorite
Milan.
meal was in Burano, which is just off of Venice.
Oh,
But,
that's a fair point. Yeah,
but
that was
overall,
one dish.
yeah, that dish was incredible. But overall, I do think the food in Florence was my favorite.
Yeah. I'm going to show some of this footage as well because this was beautiful.
Yeah, this was
right before the scariest flight we've ever been.
Oh my gosh, this flight had so much turbulence at the beginning. It was really scary.
So,
But before that, we got to fly over the Swiss Alps.
Yeah.
Flying out of Milan, and it was absolutely stunning.
I think it was like we were flying parallel to the Swiss Alps for a while. I think there's like a couple of minutes of footage here. It was really nice, and like it was a little windy and stuff, but it wasn't, as you can see, the winds aren't shaking or anything. It wasn't too bad. But I ended up putting my phone down at one point because it started getting a bit shaky. Then it got to the point where it was severe turbulence, where the what was it, the flight attendant was screaming and throwing her hands up like, "Yeah, this is so much fun. I don't know why people get scared." It was like, are you genuinely enjoying this, or is this your training to make us feel like we're not about to die? Because I've been on a couple of bad flights in my life. This was up there with one of the, like, it wasn't just a drop. Like, I've been on a flight where we went a drop. I've been on a flight where we tilted. But this one had it all.
Yeah.
It was like, not just like this happens and then it stops. It was nuts.
It was a lot of turbulence on the way out of Milan. So if you are sensitive to turbulence, I think flying over the Swiss Alps is probably part of what caused it, but I do think some of it was weather.
And to be fair, it was November, so I don't know if maybe during the summer it's not quite as bad. I don't know if it's just, based on what we experienced in Como and Brunate.
Yeah.
If it was anything like that, then I'm not too surprised. But
our flight into Rome, I think, was pretty smooth.
Yeah, we didn't have really
if you're really sensitive to turbulence, maybe this was just our experience and it's not usually like this, but you can see the video is like shaking a bit from the turbulence on the plane. I don't know, maybe avoid flying in and out of Milan. Yeah. But you do get these spectacular views out the window as you're flying out of Milan, of the Swiss Alps. So
we're coming up very much towards the end. What do we think as far as final thoughts on, it's entitled Italy in November. So let's go with that.
I think November was a really nice time to visit Italy. Definitely cold in the northern parts of Italy, so make sure you pack for that. Make sure you have a nice warm coat, a scarf, beanie, mittens. We brought scarf and coat. We did not bring beanie and mittens. I wish we had.
Yeah.
There were definitely days where I wore my like lightweight packable puffer underneath my wool trench coat. Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely in the north it gets cold. It was pretty warm.
Yeah.
It was pretty warm in Rome.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, definitely but it wasn't crowded. It was a really nice time to visit as far as prices. Things were a lot more reasonable in November, which was really nice. I think it's a great time to visit. The only thing I will say is that if you're a big Christmas person like I am, it did kind of hurt my heart when we got back.
One day off, especially.
We got back and I saw all of the Christmas markets and all of the Christmas festivals and things that were happening in Italy after we had left. And so if that's something that you're really into and you really want to see all of that, wait until the last week of November into early December to go. But yeah. This video has been going for nearly 3 hours at this point, and so if you stuck with us the whole time,
thank you. That's
crazy.
Here's the thing: we deleted a lot of footage as well. We thought this was going to be an hour, and we realized earlier today, oh crap, I was mistaken. This is not an hour. We've got a lot more footage. So Amanda tried to go through and delete even more.
Yeah, I only made it through our first few days deleting things. So but thank you so much for sticking with us.
I'm just gonna get my final thoughts in, if that's okay.
Okay, yes, go
just
ahead.
On Italy in November, we were talking about it while we were there as well. I would recommend, it was for Florence and for Rome, the weather was actually nice. It worked out well. It was cold at night, but during the day we weren't wearing jackets during the day. It was in t-shirts. It was just warm enough for that, so it was kind of nice.
In Rome.
In
Florence,
Rome,
it was a little too cold for t-shirts.
Yeah, it's fair. I think if we could have our time back, because we went from just before mid-November till, I think it was the 8th through the 23rd-ish, something like that. I would push everything back 3 weeks-ish. So mid-October to end of October, weather-wise, I think would have been much nicer. or I would push everything forward probably 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So then we could start and know that we're there. No, this is a festive vacation to Italy. We ended up being right in between, and Rome, it felt fine. Florence wasn't too bad. Venice was not a fun time, and it was just cold from then on, kind of a thing. So that would be my personal recommendation. If you're thinking of a trip to Italy and you want to save some money, not go in summer, we're with you. We did it, and it was worth it 100%. If we could have our time back 3 weeks earlier or 2 weeks later, pick one. Know that it's going to be cold, but you're going to get the festive season, or know that it's going to be just warm enough that it should be fine.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But is there anything else you want to add just about visiting Italy?
If it's not there and you're like me and your knowledge of Italy is based on soccer and Shakespeare and stuff like that, add Florence. You have to go to Florence. That's a non-negotiable. Florence is #1 priority. We spent the most amount of nights there, and it wasn't enough. Honestly, like when we were there, we talked about it.
I would do like a 2-week vacation just in Florence.
Would happily spend 2 weeks in Florence just to chill there, let alone see the sights, go on the tours and everything like that. It's phenomenal. The food is better down there as well. So at some point, we're going to go back to Italy. Not later this year. That's going to be a very quick trip. But at some point, we're going to do the southern half of Italy. I want to hit up Naples. I want to hit up some of the islands and stuff like that. Catania, maybe, just because I have a friend named Catania. So, that's the only reason I know it. But stuff like that.
If you want more Italy content, please follow us on Instagram. We have some reels coming out that are much shorter form than this 3-hour live video. And they'll tell you a bit more information about our trip and some of the specific places that we really loved.
And the tours, our favorite tours as well, definitely.
Thank you for sticking with us for this really crazy long video. I think we've definitely learned that we need to cut down the amount of content that we want to put into these. We did not plan for this video to be 3 hours long. So thank you for sticking with us if you did. I think some people were probably popping in and out, which is totally fair. 3 hours is a lot to ask. So I think that, in the future, if we do these videos again, we'll shorten them. We'll do like parts 1, 2, and 3. We'll do something to make them not 3 hours, because that's a ridiculous amount of time to ask somebody to watch one of these things. But if you did, thank you. Thank you.
Here's what I will say, actually. Subscribe, because we've been on other tours. We did a cruise to Greece and Turkey, and I know we've got a better amount of footage for that. That would actually
by better he means less,
like less, more concise video, probably more like an hour. So if you want to see more about Greece and Turkey, Kushadasi, Istanbul, Athens, Santorini, Mykonos, and Rhodos, we have that. We're ready to go. Plus, we can talk about the cruise line that we're on. We did a Norwegian cruise for that. Earlier last year, we did a Virgin cruise, which have fast become my favorites. I used to work on Disney cruise. We've got a lot of content that we want to put out there, because this is our first time doing this, and this is 3 hours, and I know it was a while. That kind of flew by in a lot of ways for me. So I
think it did. This was fun reliving that whole trip.
So we want to do this more. We've got the content ready to go for a bunch of stuff, and we're traveling a lot more this year. So follow along, and remember, it is Adventures with DNA for Doni and Amanda. And we're going to put out more on socials. I don't know what's happening with TikTok on Sunday. Apparently it's going to die. So
it's going to go bye-bye, I guess.
Yeah, Supreme Court said it's gone bye-bye. So
follow
maybe
us on Instagram,
we'll
please, and subscribe on YouTube. But as far as trips coming up, we've got a Disney trip coming up.
Next in like 3.5, 4 weeks from now.
We've got an Alaska cruise coming up, which we're very excited about.
Right. I'm going to take a lot of footage on that one, but not too much.
But we're going to cut it down, so it's not going to be a 3-hour recap. Don't worry, it won't be a 3-hour recap. We've got
Australia. We're going to go back to my home city of Adelaide. I don't know if we'll get much footage there, because that's more of a family trip, but depending on what we do, we might check some stuff out.
We'll show you some of our favorite restaurants. We'll show you some things to do if you're ever in Adelaide.
I know I've got some footage from the footy game we went to last time. We can use that.
It's a beautiful city. If you're ever in Adelaide, there are definitely things to do.
Wine capital of Australia. Yes. Great wineries like 20 minutes outside of the city. So It's a good spot.
Um,
But then,
and then we've got another cruise coming up on Virgin Voyages
which I'm so excited
in
about, my favorite.
October. That's the one we're going on with my mom and her fiance Chris.
Will then be
So
husband.
yes,
We're going from
and-
Rome.
Yeah.
We're going to hit up different parts of Italy. So we're probably going to go back to Florence, like we talked about in the live chat earlier. And then we're going to hit up part of France. We're going to Cannes and maybe one other place. And then we're going to end in Barcelona. So, you know me, I was just talking about soccer. I'm ready to maybe hopefully get to Madrid as well. More of a Hala Madrid fan than I am a Barca fan. I probably don't know what I'm talking about. But the Camp Nou and the Santiago Bernabeu. Can't wait to check those out. I love you. Thank you for doing
and I
this
will
for me.
tour at
So
least
sweet.
one of those places. And if he wants to tour
Yay.
more than one, I might find something else to do.
That's fair enough. Yeah,
while he does
yeah.
that.
I just want some paella and some football. I'm ready for that. And then
I'm in
whatever
for
else
the
comes.
paella.
Yeah, that's fair. And then at the end of the year, my family should be
Yeah.
coming up, and hopefully we're doing something else as well that might have something to do with the West Coast. We'll
I
see.
don't know. We'll see.
We'll figure it out.
We haven't figured it out
We'll do
yet.
something.
But yeah,
So yeah,
lots of
more to
travel
come.
coming up
Lots
for
more
the
to come.
year. Lots of travel that we've done previously that we don't have any content on yet. So we have lots to put out there.
Mhm.
If you want to travel more in the coming years, please give us a follow.
Yes.
We have so much to share. We have a lot of knowledge that we've gained over the last couple of years, and I'm sure we'll get more because Lord knows we keep making mistakes.
Yes,
So-
absolutely we do.
We'll share those with you so that you don't make the same ones we do. I think we need to end this video.
Yes, we
now.
definitely do. Thank you for joining us for our first live and our first ever YouTube content. It's been a blast. We hope you enjoyed it. And for those who end up watching it later, thanks for watching it later. And feel free to leave a comment, ask any questions you want. As you can see, we don't have many comments there, so I will definitely get back to you with as much info as we possibly can. So yeah, we just want to have the best travel that we possibly can. And if we can help you with that, then we will, because
Yeah.
it's awesome. We love it.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
We're done. We're done.
Okay, we're done.
Enough
Bye-bye.
talking.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.